40.
Just remember, if your cell phone, put it on vibrate. You gotta step away from the table and answer it. Another thing, if you're going all in, I want you to do a forward motion.
I'll check it all the way. I'm done now. Got it.
So any point in time that you're in the hand, make sure you keep your cards in the window.
Check? Just like this.
Just keep your cards
Okay.
in the window.
Check them. Don't check them on the
We'll
ground.
remind you a couple times. Yeah.
You can see the reflection. Oh, really? Behind the man. Okay. Small blind, Ollie. So you want the big one? Okay. All right. I like it big blind, but I don't want to close. I understand.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name's Bart Hanson. I'm here with David Tuckman. Tonight's Thursday, and that means the first of two nights of unrestricted, no-limit hold'em. The blinds for this game tonight are 5 and 10, and this game can play pretty big.
Yeah, definitely.
Tomorrow's game is 10-20, but still, you can still buy in for tens of thousands of dollars to this game as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty exciting lineup also.
Well, let's get there. Let's move to the table.
Let's do that. Seat 1, we've got Sorina.
I think is that a new player?
Yeah, it's a relatively new player, and he's pretty short check there. I think, yep, he's only got about, I want to say, $500 or $600 there. I believe those are purples underneath that blue chip. Seat 2 is Mr. Kim, and he looks like he has about $1,000 there. Seat 3, we've got Gilberto, local player. Seat 4 is Ali, enjoying, I want to say, is that a steak?
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks
good steak. I played with Ali last night. Such a nice guy, real gentleman. Seat 5, we've got Shlomi. Oh, Shlomi's gone.
Somebody's chips are there.
Yeah, somebody's chips are coming there. Seat 6, we've got Juan, though. And Juan can be a crazy guy. We'll see what he does tonight. Really mix it up. He's an adventurous player. Seat 7, we've got nobody right now, but we're going to get somebody in right away. And actually, that's going to be Lan. And Lan is moving over there to Seat 7. Seat 8, we've got Mo. And Seat 9 right now is empty, but we'll get somebody in there right away.
And this is part of the reason why we're going to move the show up to 7 p.m. Pacific time next week, Dave. Because it just happens to be that 6 o'clock is a tough time in L.A., and these games are somewhat thin in the beginning. Yeah, probably in the next 45 minutes we'll have definitely a full table and a big waiting list, but...
I mean, by the time we finish the show,
right,
we usually have, like last night I got out of the show, and I went out there. I had a 10-20 no-limit game to choose from, a 50-100 no-limit game to choose from, and two 5-10 no-limit games to choose from.
Yeah.
But obviously most of these players are sauntering in at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock even.
Right.
And staying till 3 in the morning.
Right. So we're going to get into the first hand. The yellow chips are $5 chips. Purples are 25s.
4 players.
And the whites are 100. So we're playing 5-10 blinds. Pot was limped around here.
Check.
Going to see the first hand of the night. Now we can't see seat 6's cards.
Check again.
And ace-6 over here for
Lan.
seat 7. So he's got top pair.
Not sure if it's Lan or Lon. We'll find out in a second.
River's a 3. And now he's going to come out and bet with ace-6. He's going to bet 25.
And you wonder here, is Jack 9 going to call here? Jack 9 is in seat 6, and he's going to pay him off.
Yep, he checked the turn.
Yeah, Juan had a pair of 9s there. He thought maybe his 9 was good, but it's not.
And there it is. And
what a game last night, huh? We had?
Yeah,
Last night and every Wednesday night we have our big whale game. And last night was no exception. Obviously, we had a 50-100 blind, no-limit game. the likes of Bobby Belande, Tim Fan, Yoshi Nakano. Game was really fabulous.
Bobby Belande is impressing, some people out there, Dave.
Yeah, he really played well, and actually right after the show ended, won a big pot off of Ed. Ed was the big winner last night. But turns out Bobby actually won about a $15,000 pot right when the show ended.
Yeah. Button's going to move over here to seat 6. If you want to email us, we'd like to keep the show interactive. live@thebike.com. You also can follow a couple of internet threads that are started about the show. Go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Go to the forum section, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments.
And if you have trouble finding it, you can go to Live at the Bike. Obviously, just click on our links to it.
Seat 2 here is going to raise. He's got pocket kings. He's going to make it 45, 4.5 times the big blind.
That's Mr. Kim.
Yeah. Seat 5 here. Looks like he's going to call on the cutoff.
And he calls with ace-6 offsuit. Wow.
Now the button's got ace-queen offsuit. So seat 5 calling with ace-rag offsuit, and the button's going to call with ace-queen. Mr. Kim's in pretty good shape here. Got about a $140 pot.
Only
going
2 aces
ways.
left out there.
Here we go. 8, 3, 4, all hearts. Pretty good flop for pocket kings.
Yeah, now, Juan in seat 6 does have the ace of hearts.
75.
He might think he can take one off. Let's see what he does.
Seat 2 is going to bet 75 here. Pocket kings, again, the flop is 8, 4, 3 with 2 hearts.
Yeah, now Shlomi actually has ace-6.
Yeah, he does not have ace-8.
Which obviously makes it a much easier fold for him. Ace-8 would be a problem. Now, Juan, let's see if he gets in trouble. He's got overcards with the ace of hearts.
Well, he's thinking about it here, Dave. Like you said, he's got backdoor. No, he's not.
Yeah, it's more of a limit hold'em play to be able to take one off there.
Absolutely.
Or even actually in limit hold'em, you could even raise with that hand. But no limit, not much there.
Mr. Kim is going to take it down there. Mr. Kim is usually the host of a mixed game that goes on here, 61-20 mixed game.
He was actually playing 61-20 and 81-60 heads-up mixed game last night
yeah.
for about, I want to say, 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
I mean, he was still playing when I left.
He loves the mixed games, doesn't he?
Heads-up, too. I mean, it's funny, when he's playing a full ring game, he's pretty conservative, but obviously not conservative when playing heads-up.
Right. And a lot of times they play 7-card stud, 7-card stud, high-low. No qualifier in those mixed games here at the bike.
Yeah, he was playing last night BOTE. He was actually playing
75.
Badoogie, playing Omaha 8 or better,
Wow, look-
stud 8 or better.
Look at these hands. Pocket jacks, ace jack, ace king, and ace queen. We
Wow.
had a $75 raise. I believe it was by seat 4. That was Ali with ace jack. And Kim, who's got pocket jacks in seat 2, he's just going to call. And actually, it was seat 5 that raised with the ace king. Ali actually got out of there with ace
Well,
jack.
you know what? Ollie's a pretty good player, and there's
Yep.
no way he's going to call a raise, especially when 2 people call the raise with ace jack offsuit.
$225 flop here. Here we go. 3 ways.
Oh, that's
Pretty-
a nice flop for jacks.
Remember, though, Kim has played the hand pretty passively. He just called out of the blind. And
Wow.
Shlomi's going to bet 150. He's going to bet, 150 into a $225 pot. And
That's a nice bet by Shlomi there.
Kim's looking at it. Pot's 375. He's got jacks with the jack of hearts. And he is going to make the call.
He's just calling. I mean, he's a little. You think he's playing it slow, being scared? I think a little, thinking maybe Shlomi's got queens, kings, or aces.
Well, here we go to the turn. Pot's about $500. Turns is 6. That changes nothing. Kim's going to check.
400.
And Shlomi's going to bet 400 now.
Wow.
He's going to bet a little
And how
under the size of
deep
the
is
pot.
Shlomi?
Well, we'll see. The pot's 900.
I love saying this guy's name. I tell you, I could say
Yeah.
it all day.
I think he's got 1,500 left, Dave.
Wow. Okay, so he's pretty deep, and I want to say that
It's a $900 pot, and it's 400 for Mr. Kim to call.
Mr. Kim looks like he probably has about $700 or $800 left. Now, if everybody's wondering, just so you know, we're short of our cameraman tonight.
Yeah,
Greg,
the guy that does the remote work.
the handheld camera.
Right.
So Isaac is the man. Well, Isaac's always the man, but tonight he is the man.
So we won't be seeing some of those steady shots on the side.
Yeah, or
from
not
the,
so steady
eye
shots.
level. Right. So Kim's put to the test here. It's a $400 bet. And,
Well, this is one of the hardest hands to play.
yeah.
Jack's out of position. It's like, man, I can beat ace king. I can beat.
Right.
But I can't beat queens, kings, or aces.
And if Shlomi's kind of new to the casino, I've never seen him around before. Kim doesn't know how he plays. I mean, is he that aggressive where he would fire twice with ace-king?
Well, Shlomi's really representing a big, big pocket pair. You know, I can't fault Mr. Kim if he lays this down.
It's a $400 bet, $900 in the pot.
I mean, think about it. Shlomi made it 75 pre-flop, got called in 2 spots, bet 150 on the flop, and now he's followed up with 400. I mean, he's playing it like he has kings, isn't he?
And Kim's going to check raise them all in. He check raises all in here. And I don't know how much Kim has left, but we know Shlomi has 1,500 left. We'll hear from the dealer. It's about 500 more, Dave, the word is. And that means the pot's 1,800, 500 for Shlomi to call.
So he's getting 3.5 to 1 on his money, and he's calling.
And he calls. He does not have a heart draw. He's going to need to spike an ace or a king, but we know several of the aces are dead.
Yeah. And this would be a really bad beat if it comes.
Yep. And here we go to the river. The river's a 6, and pocket jacks are going to take it down.
No good.
And Kim's going to take it all.
Nice play by Mr. Kim. Good read by him. I mean, that's a tough play.
And that's a $2,300 pot there.
Jacks
Mr.
are
Kim
tough.
takes down.
You know, I got to tell you, I like the way Shlomi played the hand up until the call on the river. The call on the turn, obviously. Once Mr. Kim comes over the top there, at that point, you just, I mean, I know it's only 500 more, but the pot is only, you're getting 3.5 to 1. Can ace-king really be good there?
Now, the interesting thing, and I'll play a little devil's advocate out there, if you actually examine Mr. Kim's play on the turn there, Dave, and I'm going to throw this out at you, can you get called by a hand that you don't beat? Now, obviously, I guess the situation is yes, but against, say, like a conservative player or a good player, they probably wouldn't call there with ace-king unless you put the guy on ace-king of hearts.
But what's wrong with protecting your hand, though?
No,
if you just smooth call and then a king comes out, well, then what happens?
Right.
I mean, I'm all for inducing a bluff, but you don't want to let the guy get there for free.
5-way action here. Ace, jack, 7. It was limped around. Shlomi's got a weak ace.
Yeah, but he's the only player with an ace. So.
Let's see, one's going to come out and bet with jack, 8.
2 players.
And C5 is going to call with ace 8. Turns a king. And Serena there is really John
100.
Slim. He checks. Shlomi's going to bet 100. And see, the board is 7, jack, ace, king. And he's going to call. And here we go to the river. He needs a jack. The river's a 4.
Bet 100.
And he's going to throw a little bet out here, David. He's going to bet $100. I don't know how the 4 really could have affected anything here. That's 100 here on the river. So let's see what Shlomi does. 100 into about a $350 pot, I want to say. I mean, you can't raise this, can you? I mean, you think it's a fold or a call, and it's probably a call. Serena's bet 100 here on the river. And he does make the call.
Yeah, and one lesson there, just so you know, rarely do you want to bluff somebody who's just lost a big pot, because they're more apt to pay you off.
Well, bluff them in terms of $100 into a $350 pot as well, right?
Yeah, well, it's just a lesson. I'm not sure if that was actually the intention of a bluff, or maybe it was even a value bet. Maybe he thinks he can get paid off. But I'm just saying, I mean, oftentimes you'll see somebody lose a big pot, and the best way, actually, to get money from them is they'll overplay their next hand.
Yeah.
Rarely do they lay down a big hand, though.
Couple limpers here. Limp, limp, limp. Button's over there in seat 1. And we're going to see 5-way action here, looks like. Limped around.
5 players.
Here we go to the flop. 10, 5, deuce, rainbow. Doesn't look like this really hit anybody. I think pocket 6s is the best hand. Juan in seat 6. It's going to get checked around. Queen jack over there in seat 7 is the other hand. Turns a 9, and now queen jack's open-ended. Jack 8 is open-ended, and 7-9 makes a pair. And seat number 3 here with
3 player.
Well, Seat 3's not in there, is he?
Well, yeah, he is. We don't have the cards up. He's got pocket 8s.
Oh, okay.
Turn was a 9. He's in there. He made a bet, and we got a couple callers. And the river's a queen.
Ali gets there.
Yeah, Ali makes the straight.
Somebody picked one.
It gets checked to Ali. He's going to bet 100.
And Ali is pretty straightforward. If Ali's betting, he usually has it.
Yep.
I mean, Ali might bluff once a week, folks.
So there's a queen on the river here, queen of spades.
But amazingly, he still gets paid off time and time again. Now, I got to tell you, Land's got to get rid of that. Yeah, it's a queen
Yeah.
on the river there.
And there you go.
If Ali's
Ali's
betting
gonna
there,
take it
your
down.
your one queen is not good. And
So
Ali.
Gilberto figured, everybody checked the flock. I'll bet the turn. He did have the best hand. And Ali made it there with Jack 8. Another thing about there with Ali chasing that, I mean, there were a couple hearts on board there. He does not have the nuts straight. And in terms of implied odds, Dave, there you can see on the river he actually didn't get paid off, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing with Ali. I mean, he's not going to lose a lot of money chasing draws and stuff, but Ali does have problems getting paid off by anybody who's paying attention.
Right.
Now, fortunately for him, we have a lot of players that come to this casino that aren't paying attention
Right.
and pay him off anyway. Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen.
50.
We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 10. And we get a raise from $50. I believe that's from seat 1.
Yep, he's got ace king
2
suited.
player.
Seat 5's going to call, and we are heads up 8-6 of hearts against ace king of clubs. And look at this, ace king of clubs has flopped a nut
Now,
flush.
you wonder here, now this should be an easy fold for Shlomi, but he's open-ended, and you wonder if he'll get himself in trouble.
Well, it went check,
And he
check,
just-
and he's made the straight on the turn, and 9
Yep.
comes on the turn.
And Shlomi's got a big hand here. You wonder if he's going to get himself in trouble.
Now, Serena's bet 50 here, and Shlomi's going to check raise him to 250 with a straight.
100.
Wow. And the only thing,
All in.
and ace king of clubs is going to move all in, and Shlomi calls,
And he's drawing dead.
and he is drawing dead. River's a 4.
And he makes the straight on the other side, too, just in case. He has the 4 to the 9 straight there. Actually, he has the 3 to the 9 straight.
Looked like he had maybe 300 more there, so not a huge pop. But we're talking maybe $800 there, and Shlomi's really taking a hit here the first few hands of the night.
And Serena there, slow plays just one little bit and gets paid.
Yeah.
You wonder if he throws out a $50 bet, if he gets called anyway by an open-ended straight draw. Who knows?
Well, the slow playing there worked heads up. And the only thing he could lose to there, he actually didn't have the nuts. He could have lost to 4-6 of clubs, but
Right.
if you're going to be worried about that hand, you shouldn't be playing in the game, right?
Well, especially with only $200-300 behind, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Patience pays off,
Button's going to move over there to seat 3. Now, Dave, you actually work a different schedule here than I do at the casino. How long did that 50-100 game end up going for last night?
Well, the 50-100 game only went till about 10:30 or so, 10:15. A couple of players moved over to play the mixed game, the 300, 600, and 400, 800 mixed game. So the no-limit game broke up then. But at that point, we had a 10-20 no-limit game, and we had 2 5-10 games.
This pot is going to be limped around here. We got
7
7-way action. It's a $70 pot. Here we go. Ace 9-5 with a couple of spades. We got an ace deuce in seat 4. Jack 8 of spades over there in seat 1's got a flush draw.
Yeah.
It got checked to him, and he's going to bet 30. That
Now,
is
now, this is
Serena.
interesting. I'm curious. Now, Ali's got a weak ace, but he has the ace of spades. Is he going to take? Yeah, he's going to pay off.
He's gonna call. Again, ace
It happens.
9-5 with 2 spades. Seat 5 is going to call here. He's got 6-7, Dave. He's chasing a gut shot, but there's 2 spades out there.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to go for those gut shots, especially with the spades out there.
3 pure outs. The turn's a queen.
Well, is Juan? No, Juan is out of the hand.
Now,
Okay.
Juan is out of the hand. And it gets checked around, and the river's an 8.
Yeah, and Ali dodges everything there.
And the river is an
No,
8.
I'm
And look
sorry.
at this. Shlomi picks it up. He needed an offsuit 8, and he caught it there at
There
the
you go.
end. And he bets 150. River is an 8 of clubs. It got checked around on the turn. Unbelievable. He chased
And the
it
action
there.
is on.
The action's on Serena. He was thinking about calling him with a pair of 8s. And Ali's going to call with the weak ace.
Yeah.
And $150 there, and seat 5's going to take down about a $200 pot. Wow. Whew. 3 outs there,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the only problem with the play of Ali. I mean, he makes the call on the flop, and if you think your ace is good, we'll raise it up because it's definitely vulnerable to some hands out there. And if you don't think your ace is good, then throw it away. But you certainly don't want to just smooth call, then check and give everybody a free card, and then pay off when they get there.
Wow.
I try to tell everybody here, because obviously when we criticize the players or the players' play, you know, some people take it personally and get a little offended. And obviously, you know, it's just our opinion, it's our 2 cents. And obviously, it's never a personal thing. It's more of just a poker. But Live at the Bike, we're trying to keep this real and keep it politically incorrect. So.
We got 7-way action here. Again, limped around. $70 pot. 10, 7, 8. Jack 10 over there for seat 7. And Serena's got Queen 10, and he's going to bet.
Yeah, that's land there in seat 7.
He's going to bet $40 here, half the size of the pot in seat 1. Now, Ali, he's got King Jack, Dave. He's going to make the call. He's got a gut shot to the 9. Seat 5's going to call with 7-4. Bottom pair. We got 4-way action here. Wow. $230 pot. The turn is a 5.
Check around.
And it's going to get checked around here again. And the river is a 4. And anyone with a 6 would have a straight, but no one has a 6.
No. And I believe Queen 10 is still good, right?
It looks like it.
His Queen will play. Obviously.
Actually, look, Shlomi's in there with 7-4. He spiked 2 pair on the river. And
Wow.
he checked it, and Land's going to bet with Jack 10. He's going to bet $50. Serena's going to call.
And, well, Shlomi, I think
And
Shlomi...
Shlomi folds. He does not overcall with the 2 pair.
10 queen.
So Land bet with the Jack 10, and Serena's going to take it down there with Queen 10. Shlomi had the best hand. But how can you overcall there? I mean, it's 1 card there to a straight. There were 7 people in
Yeah,
there.
it's a tough spot.
Wow. Unbelievable. So it looks like we've got a pretty loose table here, Dave. We're going to see multi-way pots. Button's going to move over to seat 5.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of chips on the table, obviously, right now. Mo's got a lot of money on the table. A couple of people have a lot of money. But we obviously there's a lot of loose play.
Right.
And this is one of those times where you've really got to, you got to adapt your style of poker
45.
to the game you're playing at.
$45 raise here. Ace Jack.
And Ali should do well at this table. If he just kind of plays ABC and waits for the nuts, he'll get paid, I'm pretty sure.
Seat 7's going to call here with 6-7 suited. And we are heads up here. Seat 3 there was Gilberto against Freddie. And here we go. Actually, that's Lan, excuse me. Gilberto hits top pair. Now, will Lan get in trouble when he hits middle pair here?
Yeah, well, Gilberto's he's got top pair, top kicker. I don't think Land's going to get in trouble here.
Jack 7-3.
I mean, he might take one off, but with 2 clubs out there, I'm not even sure if he'll do that.
He bets a little over the size of the pot, 100.
Now, sometimes if I have 6-7 of hearts, I'll take one off if it comes out, say, Jack of hearts,
Right.
7 of clubs, 3 of diamonds. Even just something little as that gives me one extra little shot. Now, in this case, there's really nothing there.
He's going to check raise, though.
All in
He's
205.
all in for 205.
Wow.
And Gilberto's going to call, obviously. And Land's going to need to spike a 6 or a 7 here. He's got outs now. He
Oh,
picks
now
up a
4.
straight draw. And the river's an 8, but Ace Jack's going to take it
Yeah.
down.
Obviously, a 4, a 6, or 7 would have done it on the river there. But the 8 is no good. And Gilberto takes it down. Takes down, what, about a $700 pot, right?
Right.
Thank you, sir. Chip, please.
Unbelievable. Button's going to move over there to seat 6, and I think Land's going to reload here. And Mo's in the big blind. We haven't seen him play a hand yet, Dave, tonight.
Oh, it's on me. I'm sorry.
Limped around here.
2,500 behind.
And Land's buying in for 2,500, I believe. And we are limped
7K.
around here again. 7-way action. We cannot see the Buttons cards.
Flop is 7-4-3, couple diamonds out
Set
there.
of 4s over here for seat 3. And he's going to bet right into it. He gets checked around.
And now 2 players have 7-6, which
Yep.
is top pair with a gut
Bet
shot.
50.
Ali calls. He's got 7-6. He calls the $50 bet. Seat 6 is going to call with Queen 8. He's got a diamond draw on the button. And Mo is going to call with 6-7. So we got about a $270 pot here
4
going.
players.
to the turn.
And you wonder how Gilberto is going to play this now. I mean, he can't be that comfortable.
Turns at 10.
Well, that's a safe card.
Set's good so far.
Well, the 10 of hearts is pretty safe there. I mean, it doesn't complete any straight. Obviously, doesn't complete the flush.
He's going to bet 200 into about a $270
Ollie gets rid
pot.
of the 7-6. Realizes that his top pair is no good there. Juan is out.
Juan's out of there.
And
And Mo's going to check raise to 500, Dave. I think he thinks he senses weakness, but he's in big trouble.
Call 2 players.
And look at this, he just calls. The only thing he can lose to is 5-6. It's Mo against Gilberto, and the river's a 10, and Gilberto's filled up. And Mo's going to bet 300. That's a little bit of a blocker bet. And look at this, Gilberto comes over the top, all in, and I think Mo got his information.
Yeah.
There it is. Wow.
C7.
I mean, do you re-pop it there on the turn if you were Gilberto? Or are you scared that Mo might have been slow playing a monster? He had a straight there.
I mean, once again, if you it depends how deep you are. If you re-pop it, and then Mo comes over the top
Right.
all in, then what do?
You can't see the river there, which could improve your hand.
You might not be able to see the river. Who knows? It depends how deep you are, though. I mean, if you're already committed anyway, pot committed, well then,
Right.
hey, doesn't really make a difference.
And that was clearly a blocker bet there on the river, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, I don't think it was. Well, I mean, you figure if the guy missed, it was enough of a bet that if your opponent had a diamond draw, he was going to throw it away. And it was enough of a bet if he didn't have like a full house, he probably would just call.
I mean, he was betting 300 into a $1,200 pot.
Right. Well, that's the whole point of it.
9 deuce 7 here with a couple of clubs.
You know what I mean, though, obviously. But if Gilbert only has an ace-high diamond draw, he's not going to call even 300.
Seed 8's got 9 deuce. He's got 2 pair, and he did not bet. Turns at 3. So 9 deuce and seed 8 did not bet. Now he's going to come out and bet 60. That was Mo. Probably looking for the check raise there. 9 deuce
Yeah.
7 3.
In an unraised pot, though, are you really sure somebody's going to bet it?
Seat 1 is going to call here. 4-5 offsuit, and he's open-ended.
Call 2 players.
And we're heads. Oh, wait a minute. Lan has not done anything here with Queen 10. He's going to fold. Heads up. 2 pair against an open-ended straight draw here.
2 players.
Here we go to the river. And the river's a 5. Serena makes a pair, but Mo's still good here with 2 pair. And he's going to bet. He bet 60. Another little kind of blocking bet there. 5 could have completed some straights there. Turn was a 3. River was a 5. There we go.
You have 2 clubs out there, 2 spades out there,
Yeah.
7 of hearts.
Open-ended cut of 5.
Mo takes it down.
And Mo's going to take it down. There it is.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, praise, whatever you want to say, or if you just want to say hi, email us at live@thebike.com. That's live@thebike.com.
That's right.
We do try to keep the show as interactive as possible.
Button's going to move here to seat 8.
Kind of a crazy game. Very difficult to obviously input those cards so quickly. I mean, we've got 6, 7 handed each pot, huh?
Yeah, 7. I mean, this is a great game to be in, right? As opposed to, I mean, I guess it depends on what you like. Sometimes you say you actually like a weak, tight game, but this is almost an ideal game where you can be limping in with a lot of drawing hands because you don't really have to worry about a pre-flop raise.
Yeah, I mean,
You might limp in with suited connectors from up front in this game, right?
well, this kind of game, even like I said, I mean, you've got to be able to adapt your style to
Right.
the game you're playing it. And obviously, this kind of game, you want to see a lot of flops in position, even a lot of flops out of position. You don't really have to bluff that much. You can wait to hit a big hand and just get paid off, because you
so-
probably will.
Serena in seat 1. He's got pocket kings. He's going to raise it out of the blind. Going to make it 55 to go, and he's going to take it down there. There it is.
Yeah, 1 ace comes out, kills my whole hand, man.
Going to get a new setup here.
A new
Dave,
great feature that we just started about 2-3 weeks ago is our live loop, actually, where
right.
this show is going to be looped for the next 24 hours until tomorrow's show, pretty much.
Dave,
So if it's not convenient to watch it now, you can watch it later.
and that's all the way up until 4 p.m. the next day.
Yeah.
And probably it's going to be, I think, 5 p.m. Starting next week, but
Right.
don't quote me on that. We'll see. I want to drive this point home, Dave. If anyone
Drive it.
wasn't listening to the show last night, we all want you to go to www.bluffmagazine.com and check out the Reader's Choice poll, /Reader's Choice. And it's a series of questions about asking poker players what their favorite, different types of poker, poker players are, poker forums, poker rooms, and
Right.
one of the questions is poker broadcasts and poker commentators. And we are actually not one of the selections, but you can write our names in. You can also write in live at the bike. We want to encourage everyone that, a listener and a watcher of the show that loves the show, hey, email Bluff and tell them, why aren't we down in those drop boxes, right?
Right. Obviously, if you like the show, we do appreciate it. And if you don't like the show, email us and let us know why you don't like the show.
Oh, we got some action
Or us.
coming in here, Dave. Carlos is moving into seat 9. This is going to change the game up probably a little bit.
I was playing with Carlos last night, actually, in the 500 game. And I'm sitting there in the game, and I raise an early position with pocket jacks to $75. And he comes over the top on me for $400. Everybody else folds, and I look at Carlos and I go, you got aces? And he goes, yeah, and he turns them over.
Right, well, that's sometimes he'll do that, right?
I go, okay,
Yeah,
I'll throw my jacks up. I go, okay.
Jack 7-8 here with a couple of diamonds. Seat 2's got ace jack Mr. Kim. He's in the small blind.
Mr. Kim, check.
And he's not going to bet out.
Time.
He's not going to bet it right now.
Check out.
His hand is actually really strong. He also has the ace of diamonds in his hand, which really makes his hand strong.
They all check.
Now, Mo did not bet here in position with King 7, and the turn's an ace, and now Kim's got 2 pair.
Yeah, I was going to say, really dangerous to give a free card because a lot of players have 1 pair here.
And Kim's gonna bet 50. Now Carlos has got middle pair, and he's gonna need to catch an 8 here, Dave, because Kim's got 2 pair.
Oh, 2 players.
We've got about $160 pot here going to the river. River's a 10,
10's not going to change anything, though.
and this one's actually just gonna get shut down here, and Kim's gonna take it down there with aces up.
Take it down, Mr. Kim.
And anyone with a 9 would add a straight there, Dave. Kind of a scary card on the river.
I think that's
right?
why Mr. Kim checked it down there.
Yeah. Button's gonna move over there
Get
to
this
C2.
email here from Mark Gentry. It says, good show last night. Hey, guys, first of all, what a great game last night. Really enjoyed that. Even the interview at the end was good. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Ed telling us to tell he saw on Mike when he called the big bluff. And you guys have made me a poker junkie, and you guys are my main fix. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, email Bluff Magazine.
And he also talks about seeing different games, and obviously we are working on that right now because of our limitations. We're limited to Hold'em.
Right.
But we are working on it, and hopefully sooner rather than later we'll have Omaha and so forth up there.
Now, Mr. Kim's got pocket 9s on the button. It was limped around again multi-way, and he's going to pop it up to 50 with 9s in seat 2.
Now this is a different thing. He's on the button, so
Yeah.
in position you can really pump this up. If he's in a small blind, you might just smooth call it.
King-Queen offsuit here for Juan. Tough hand to play out of position. Lan also has King-Queen offsuit. Now, Mo's got a Jack-10, and that's probably playing that for obviously the straight potential, Dave, right?
Yeah,
If you make a straight with Jack-10 and their Broadway, it's probably going to hit a lot of other
Yeah,
people.
he wants
right?
2 pair better there with Jack-10.
Ace-Queen 7. Whoa, that's a bad flop for Kim. Let's see how he's going to play it. Although no one has an ace.
Yeah, and nobody has it exactly. If he bets, well, wow.
And it gets checked around to Mo, and he says, if no one wants this, I'm going to take it. I'm going to bet 150.
Well, it's interesting though. Mo bet right into Mr. Kim. He didn't even give Mr. Kim a chance to fire at it.
Going to see if Mr. Kim has an ace. I mean, would Mr. Kim lay down kings in this spot?
Well, the interesting thing is after Mr. Kim lays this down, which I'm pretty sure he will, is Lan or Juan going to call? I mean, Mr. Kim can't really call this. He has 2 players behind him still yet to act. Very easily, somebody could have limped in with an ace, then called the raise, and then checked, hoping
Right.
to check raise.
Well, Mo knows these players well. Maybe Mr. Kim is one of the types of people that would raise with ace-jack or maybe even ace-king on the button. I mean, that sounds a little bit weak.
Well,
and
and
Mo's going to take it down. Look
He
at
has the
that
4th
semi-bluff.
Yeah, he had the 4. What's semi? I mean, what, a gut shot
Gut shot.
with 2 diamonds out there. I mean, that's a pure bluff.
Look at the
almost.
turn card, though. The turn's a king. He would have made it.
Well, interesting. Had he taken a free card, I'm curious if there's one thing. If he takes the free card, and Mr. Kim chooses not to bet his pocket 9s,
2 people would make 2 pair, right?
and he makes the nut straight,
Right.
what happens then?
Well, with the board, ace, king, queen. King, queen, it's 2 pair, Dave, but you can't take a lot of heat with it, right?
If I die him, he's gonna get upset. If I send through,
Button's going to move over here to seat 3.
And I've seen a lot of people go broke with worse than that.
Well, yeah.
So you never know. I mean, 2 pairs tough to get away from sometimes. Interesting hand from Mo there. One of my favorites, 6-5 of clubs.
We got a $50 raise here by the button. That's Gilberto, he's got 9-6 offsuit. Okay.
Mixing it up a little bit.
Now, seat 6 has got pocket 6s, and all the 6s are accounted for here, Dave. And we're going to see three-way action.
3 players.
About $150 pot. Here we go. 10-10-7. Oh, I had a feeling that no one was really going to hit this flop.
It's not a bad flop for Juan. He's got 2 pair.
It gets checked around. Gilberto did not follow up. The turn is a 7, and 6s are no good now.
No, Gilberto actually has the best hand with 10s
9
and 7s and a 9 kicker.
And it gets checked around again, and the river's a 4. And Gilberto has the best hand.
Is anybody?
Bet 100.
And Mo's gonna and Gilberto's gonna bet 100 here.
Well, he probably thinks he has to. And if Juan realizes that his sixes don't play, he can easily throw this away.
Now look at this. I was gonna say Mo's gonna check raise, and I'll tell you why after the hand here, Dave. The guy checked the flop. He checked the turn. Unless he only had a 10 there, would he really bet an ace there in that spot? And I think that's what Mo was thinking.
Well, and let's be honest, even if he's betting an ace in that spot,
Yeah.
can he call a raise? And Mo earns himself another pot there.
Great poker instinct. This is a little bit of old school Mo. We haven't seen this type of Mo on the show, adapting himself to the table.
Well, that's what makes that's one of the reasons he has my utmost respect as a poker player is the fact that he does adapt to style. Sometimes we'll see him play completely ABC. If he's playing with players like Jesus and Ed. Well, I can't even say Ed anymore.
Yeah.
If he's playing with players like Jesus, players like that, he really does play ABC.
Exactly.
But when he plays in a game like this where he thinks he can really outplay players, you'll see him play a little more out of the box.
4 players.
Pot's going to be limped around again here. 4-way action. $40 pot. Flop comes out 8-5 deuce with a couple of clubs.
20.
And Carlos is going to come out and bet 20 with nothing. And Serena's going to raise with overcards. He's going to make it 60 to go. So a bluff and a bluff here. Carlos took a stab at it. He's got backdoor clubs.
See, now, I like Carlos' instincts. I love the instincts of go taking a stab at it. Why not? But then when somebody raises you, you got to throw it away. You know what I mean? You got to go, okay, I took a stab at it. No big deal. I throw it away now.
Little cat and mouse there. It's going to be interesting. It's great to have some of the newer players. We haven't seen a lot of these players. We got about, 4 or 5 new players on this table?
Well, with poker emerging like it is, we get new players every single day. I see new faces every day I come into the casino.
Button's going to move over there to seat 5. King, queen suited here for Carlos in seat 9. And he's in second position. He's going to raise it up to 50. That seems to be the standard raise here so far.
Well, it's a pretty decent raise. $50, 5 times the big blind. It achieves what you want it to achieve in the sense of charging your opponents to play, and it also kind of thins the field.
3 players.
Seat 6 is called with an ace-7 of clubs and lands in there with 8-10. Flop comes out jack 5-5. See if Carlos can follow up here with the bet. Pot's about 150.
Check around.
And
Nice
he's going to
sweater
take
by
a
Carlos.
card. Turn is a 4, and no one has a pair, but ace high is still good. And land looks like he's going to take a shot at it here, Dave.
Why not?
120.
Hey, if nobody wants the pot, I'll take it.
He's going to bet 120.
You always say, oftentimes everybody misses the flop, and in no limit, the first person to put the chips in is often going to be the winner.
Hey, again, if people missed the show last night, how about that Ed? Really, really stepped up his game here
He
over
has,
the last,
you know what?
Month or so.
I mean, we've hammered him for a couple of months there in terms of his play, and obviously he's here to have a good time. He's here as a recreational player.
Last strato.
But we got to give him his due there because he has really improved.
Yep.
I mean, does he still have leaks in his game? Of course, but don't we all?
Live straddle here by Carlos, so it's going to be $20 to call here, and he's going to have the option when it comes back around to him.
Well, he's only got queen 7 offsuit here, so.
Seat 5's going to open limp here in late position in the cutoff, queen 8 of diamonds. Button's got a little gap-suited connector, and here we go.
And you see Mo throw away king 3 offsuit.
In the, I guess in the big blind here.
Yeah, that's like the big small hands you don't really want to play.
This one's going to get checked around. Shlomi's got a gut shot here. Turns an ace, and now Juan has a flush draw in seat 6. He's on the button. Let's see if he fires if it gets checked to him here
Yeah,
again.
once again, whoever fires is probably going to take this down.
He also has a straight draw, Dave, to the 8. He's got a flush and a straight draw, but he checks again. And the river's a 5. And is queen high good right now?
It is, actually. And actually, queen 8 is good.
Yeah, the
Not just
8's
queen
going to
high.
play.
The 8 plays. It's
Ace, queen, 10. Ace, queen, jack, 10, 8, right?
8 plays.
Wow. It's amazing. You got, Dave, you have 9 cards out there and nothing connects.
Yeah.
9 cards out of 52. And
It's
there's not
amazing how
one
often that
connecting
happens.
thing. Yeah.
You know, watching this show, you really see, wow, there's a lot of dead money out there you can pick up. And if you just pick up 1 or 2 pots of those like that an hour, it'll keep you afloat until you get some big hands.
Right.
You know, some people will say, man, I didn't get any cards all night. Well, if you can just steal 1 or 2 pots, and especially a no limit, hey, that'll keep you going until you get the big ones. Now, it's really interesting to watch Mo throw away King 3, because you know he'll call 3-4, 3-5,
absolutely.
Deuce 3 even. But King 3 has no interest in playing that.
7-way action here. Limped around. $70 pot. Queen, 6, jack. And we got an ace queen over there for C2. Kim did not raise, and he's going to bet 20 here.
Yeah, and Gilberto's going to call. He's a weaker kicker.
He bets 20 into a $70 pot, and he's going to get 2 callers. Kind of a weak bet. 3 callers now. 4-way action, $150 pot. Here we go to the turn. The turn is a 7.
Well, the 7 doesn't change anything except to give Shlomi now a pair of 7s. I'm not sure why Shlomi's in there with King 7.
And Kim's now going to bet 60. And Gilberto's just going to continue to just call. And now Shlomi picking up the pair. He's going to call.
I mean, you got to wonder, what is Shlomi in there with King 7? I mean,
Yeah. Backdoor spades.
I mean,
River here's a 10, and Gilberto makes 2 pair.
yeah. And you wonder if Carlos would have gotten in trouble there, because Carlos threw away 10-6 on the turn.
Now, interesting there, Gilberto probably missed a little bit of a value bet, didn't he, there? I mean, Kim, who had led kind of weakly, granted, throughout the entire... I mean, I guess if you think someone has 8-9, you can't really put on someone an ace-king. No one really raised pre-flop, but he had 2 pair there at the
Yeah.
end, right? He probably... I mean, at that point, the pot was about $300. I think Kim pays him off to the tune of at least $200 there, don't you?
He might. You know, sometimes, like you said, I mean, I love value betting the river, but you got to be careful, obviously, because it reopens the betting. You throw a little value bet in there, you get raised, and then what do you do?
Now, the interesting thing is, because we know these players kind of like the back of our hands, I love playing against opponents like Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim is not stupid, but he's not necessarily going to put... I mean, I think he's a good player, but he's not
Right.
necessarily going to put a move on you, really. You know, he's just... If he's going to raise you, he probably has it.
That's like a lot. I mean, the majority
You know.
of no-limit players are like that. The majority of no-limit players aren't making moves on you.
Right.
You know? They bluff once in a while, but they're not making big moves.
And
You
I
know?
don't think that, Mr. Kim's the type of player that would play it tricky to check raise the river either, so... It's just a number of things
Yeah,
why I think
I
I would probably
doubt
bet
it.
the river there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he might pay off with ace-queen.
absolutely. Mo's going to raise it up here. He's in position. He's going to make it 40 to go. He's got queen, jack offsuit.
Can't even double down.
30 more.
Get an email here from Bill Momberger.
We'll get to that here.
Yeah. Thank
in
you
a
very
second.
much, Bill, for your email.
Shlomi is going to call. And here we go. Mo's got position. Heads up. And he flops top pair. Queen 9-9. Shlomi's got a... No, he doesn't have a draw, does he?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
he
got a
does.
gut shot.
He's got a gut shot to the jack.
And
Mo's
backdoor
gonna
heart
bet.
draw.
100.
Mo bets 100. Shlomi's going to call. You wonder what Mo thinks Shlomi has right now. Turn is an ace.
Well, that gives him the same gut
Yeah,
shot he had
it's-
before. Thank you. Same jack now.
Shlomi's going to check again. And Mo's going to bet here.
300.
He bets 300.
Now, a lot of players might shut down the queen jack, but Mo doesn't.
Right.
A lot of players go, oh, what are the guy calling me with?
Again-
Maybe he's got a 9.
Again, against non-tricky opponents, as kind of illustrated by that hand. I don't not necessarily know if Shlomi is the type of player that could check raise with something as weak as a gut shot straight draw when the board's paired. I mean, if he check raised there on the turn, Mo's done with the hand, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you're representing the 9.
I mean, you could really make some big check raises on paired boards when you have a draw.
Well, you can, especially if you know what the other guy has.
Right.
Obviously, it can be difficult if you're out of position against a player and you don't know, is this guy betting a queen? or is he betting a 9? If I
Right.
check raise him $300 more or $400 more,
Yeah.
and he comes over the top of me because he has a 9, what do I do then?
Email here by Jorge Concepcion. He says, how early should you arrive in order to get a seat at Live at the Bike? Well, only a couple hours, Dave.
Yeah, it really depends on the night, actually.
Yeah.
You know, some nights, we're just filling the game at 5:15, and some nights, obviously, there's a board on there at 3 o'clock.
We had a $30 raise here by Carlos with 8-9 of diamonds, and seat 5's going to pull the limp re-raise with aces, Dave. He limped in early position, and he's re-raised to 90. And Carlos is going to call, and Serena's in there. So we got
Wow.
about a $300 pot going three-way. Seat 5, the limp re-raise or pre-flop. Jack 10-4 with a couple spades. Serena's
Now,
open-ended.
you really wonder, both players are open-ended here, and you wonder who's going to get in trouble in this one. And I got to tell you, Shlomi's got a lot of cards to dodge in this one.
Well, Shalomi's bet 400, Dave, into a $300 pot, and I don't know if he has that much more. Even if he were to get raised here, I think he's going all in.
And nobody has a spade here.
And Carlos calls. Wow.
He's open-ended, and you wonder if Serena get a call. He's looking to
trying
the heavens.
He's trying to do the pot on. It's an $1,100 pot, 400 to call.
Now, the only thing that might save him here is the fact that there's two spades out there. With two callers, he might be thinking, hey, I've got the odds to go for it. Now, in this case, Serena's actually in bad shape because he needs one of only 3 9s left and one of only 2 aces left. So he's only got 5 outs, and not the normal 8 when you're open-ended. While Carlos needs a queen, and there's 3 queens left, or a 7. And there's 4 of those. So we got 7 outs for Carlos. And obviously, Shlomi's in bad shape here. Shlomi's actually in good shape, but Shlomi's got to dodge about, 12 outs total?
And he's still thinking about it.
Now, nobody has a spade here. Real interesting to see how this is played out.
And, yeah, we're getting word, Dave, that seat 5 only has about 300 left. He's not going anywhere.
No.
So there's no fold equity.
No, there's no point in raising. You're
Right.
not raising this as a semi-bluff. I mean, you're raising it just to get your money in.
Right.
Now, if you don't think somebody has spades, I was going to say,
But
if you
he's
don't think
going to
somebody
move all in for about 300, and Shlomi instantly calls. So that's another 300. So now the pot's 1,900, and Carlos is going to call the
and I
additional
just pointed out,
300.
Shlomi's got 12 cards to dodge here.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, give it.
And he does not have a spade redraw, obviously.
And the pot's over $2,000.
And
Turn
King Queen
a
is still
deuce.
in there.
King Queen is still in the hand, and the river is a king, but 8-9 does not get there. Aces
No.
is going to take the whole thing, over 2,000. Wow.
Send it.
Yep, there it is.
And Shlomi wins the entire thing there.
So,
Now, Shlomi was obviously a huge favorite over both hands.
Right.
Each player individually.
right.
But, against both of them, he was only a slight favorite.
Yeah, with 2 cards to come.
Well, you figure 12.
Yeah, obviously, when the pot's giving you about, 6 to 1, it's
It's
great.
an easy call for Shlomi, obviously. But he's got to dodge 12 cards, obviously, there. So, you figure he's probably only going to win that maybe 55% of the time.
Right. And I think, again, Shlomi had, I guess we're getting word that he had 300 left.
Yeah, I think that's about right there. $300 left.
Okay.
So he ends up winning what turns out to be probably, about a $1,500 pot total?
Actually, about 2,200.
2,200, okay.
Yeah.
And right now, the biggest pot of the night.
Nice hand.
Wow. But the thing that's confusing here, Dave, for me is that Carlos had 600, and did he go broke over there in seat 9? So I guess Shlomi had more than that. I guess he had more like 675 left. So now the pot actually was more like 2,800.
After I'm bluffing you, you took from 1,000.
Get a nice email here from Philip Smith from Bluff Magazine. Hey guys, I know you guys want to be on the list, but come on, you're killing my chance to win the iPod by telling everyone to go take the survey. Says really enjoys the show. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate the nice email.
Thank you.
And he's in Alabama.
Were we telling people to go to Safeway? Grocery store?
Oh, man.
Safeway? Did I say Safeway?
But moves over here to seat 1.
I'm a little slow. I haven't had any vegetables today. I think that's a problem.
So Shlomi had a little more than that, so he made over 2,500 on that hand. So,
And the only thing that's interesting, I'm only curious now. I know Carlos is a gambler, okay? And I have no problem with his call. That's what he does. He's here to gamble. He's here to have a good time, right? Good time, Charlie, he is. Now, after another guy moves in,
Excuse me, but speaking of gambling, Ali raised to 40, and Carlos, who made a short buy, he's moved all in for an additional 160 with King 9, and Ali's going to call, and Carlos is dominated.
yeah.
So gamble. Here we go.
Well, Carlos likes to gamble it up here.
So we made a little short buy. And the pot's going to be about $400 here. And we're
Carlos
going
needs
to see
a 9 only here.
all 5 cards.
Uh-oh.
Ace, King 7. Well, he's going to need running 9s now, right?
And he's dead.
That's it, folks. Ali's going to take it down there with the Ace King. Well, actually, the funny thing, though, is if you don't... I know you were talking about, how Carlos loves to gamble about that hand. If you don't think the other guy's on spades, at that point with 2 cards to come, I mean, he's almost getting about 2.5 to 1 on his money. He had the higher... Well, actually, he didn't have the higher end of the straight draw. But he had 8-9, right?
No, he had King Queen.
I don't want the ace.
Carlos actually had 8-9. The other guy had
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Carlos had bet. He's a gambler.
Right.
And then the King Queen overcalled.
Right.
My only question is, are you scared at all of Carlos having spades? You got to wonder there, right?
You're talking about the guy in seat 1 being
Yeah,
scared
exactly.
of Carlos, I see.
Well, if you put the first guy on an overpair and you go, okay, this guy's probably got an overpair, what does Carlos have? You got to also remember that seat 1 did have overcards as well. Now, unless you put somebody specifically on aces and you think, maybe if I have my king also, I'm good.
Right.
Hey,
6-way action here, limped around. It's a $60 pot.
Mr.
And,
Kim is limped in with ace king and he hit his ace.
I think he's in one of the blinds. Ace 5-4, couple diamonds. Yeah. Well, Mr. Kim, I guess, has the button, and there he didn't raise with ace king. And now it gets checked to him, and now he bets.
Is Lang going to take one off here at 2 deuces?
The answer is yes. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 6. It's a diamond. Will that be scary for Kim? Well, this hand actually really, illustrates what Mo did earlier on, Dave, about 25 minutes ago. Look, Mr. Kim didn't raise with ace-king on the button. So now do you know that he just raises with pocket pairs, even in late position, when Mo bet into him with the jack-10?
Well, if you pick up on that, you can definitely use it.
Right.
Maybe Mo knows that.
And it got checked down, and Mr. Kim's going to take it down.
I mean, I think in position, ace-king is an easy raise. You really don't want somebody in there with ace-5 and catching 2 pair on you, do you?
Email here from J.R. Burt-a-lot. He says, my local casino, which is Ocean's 11 in San Diego, does not allow chip racks on the table of no-limit hold'em games. Is that a standard practice at most casinos except the Bike? Well, I can't really speak for a lot of other casinos. I know that in all the L.A. casinos you can do it, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Vegas casinos, they don't like chip racks on there, and the
Right.
reason for it, obviously, is it slows the game down. But if you ask the floor man, and you, basically, if you have, let's say you have 1 rack of chips, and then a bunch of chips out of your rack, they'll let you do it.
Right.
4-play.
4-way action here. Limped around. It's a $40 pot. Jack 8-5 here. No one has a jack. We got 10-8 over there in seat 4. It appears to be the best hand from Ali.
4-play.
And it gets checked around. The turns of 4. I think Ali, he's up front. Now he's going to bet, thinking his hand is good.
35.
Shlomi's picked up a flush draw and a pair, and he just calls. Is that a great, is that a good spot there, to raise a person like Ali that might fold second pair?
Well, against Ali, generally, I don't want to be calling Ali.
Land's going to call. Also. And Land's way behind. Here we go to the river. River is an ace, and Ali escapes everything.
Yeah, doesn't change anything, but Ali's going to check this down, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, there it goes.
Send
And it's
it.
interesting also, if your land, can you represent, or somebody can represent an ace-high flush draw there?
Why not?
From late position?
Especially when you check on the flop.
And Ali is going to take it down. I mean, Ali's usually going to fire once. If he's even with a good hand, right, Dave? He likes to shut down there at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, pair and a flush draw on the turn.
I mean, I have no problem laying down hands. I was playing with Ali last night, Let's say I'm in middle to late position with 9-8 suited or something like that, and I limped in, and the flop comes out 9-3 deuce,
Right.
and Ali bets right out. I throw it away without even thinking about it.
Oh, of course.
Not even a question.
Because he's not going to come out and necessarily bet top pair with a kicker that's not,
Yeah, I mean, he's betting a decent hand there.
yeah.
Get a nice little post here from Baron von Gutzal. He says, Tuck, isn't your favorite hand 4 or 5 of diamonds? Won't it be jealous of 5-6 now? Actually, my favorite hand, I think, is actually probably 4 or 5 of hearts.
Oh.
And that's still my favorite hand, but I do like 5-6.
Five-way action limped around here. Queen 9-3 with a couple of clubs. Now, Shlomi's got a flush draw and a pair, but he does not bet, and I think he's in position, Dave. He's on the button. Rounds a 5. And Serena's going to bet here with ace-5. Actually, Shlomi is up front, so maybe he'll throw a check raise in here.
Well, second pair with the flush draw is pretty big hand.
He just check-called. Just check-call against Serena, and he's way ahead here. The river's at 10. And it just gets checked down. Pretty passive post-flop here for this table. And Shlomi takes it down. I mean, that's a big enough hand on the flop where you really could push if somebody bet the flop with the check raise, right?
Yeah, if somebody bet, you can definitely check raise that.
Right.
Like Wallen, you have to bail me out one time, though. You owe me.
Dave, here's a question here that's posted on 2+2.
Yeah.
By No Idea. Why doesn't Mo, seems to be the best no-limit player at the bike, play the 50-100 no-limit game?
You know, to be honest with you, after the game, I actually went to Mo. I'm good friends with him. I go to him and I go, Mo, man, you got to play in this game.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You kill the game. And you know what? It's a little bit out of his comfort zone. He's very comfortable playing 25-50, very comfortable playing 20-40, 10-20, but 50-100 is a little above his comfort zone. And I'll get to it in a second.
One is going to open move all in here, Dave, for 250. He's got pocket sevens. And look at this gamble here by Shlomi. He's going to call. He's going to say, how is Serena going to get called by a hand that's worse? But Shlomi's going to call. 250.
That's amazing. I mean, the way this is being played out, that's just phenomenal. I mean, what's the value of moving all in with pocket sevens?
I don't know. We're going to see a $500 race here.
I mean, it's not a tournament, right?
King, queen against pocket sevens.
I mean, I can understand that a little more in a tournament if you're short stack, you know?
Yeah.
But
I
the
just
cash
don't get
game,
it.
the blinds are only 5-10. You've got 250.
Well, sevens are still ahead here.
Yeah.
Turn is a jack.
Oh, he's in good shape. Serena's in real good shape.
Yeah, river's 4. Shlomi needed a king or a queen that wasn't a spade.
Yeah.
He got reduced to 4 outs there on the river, right?
Yeah, actually, well, 10 also without a spade.
That's right. He
as
has to
well.
get straight there to the
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
But I talked to him about it, and to be honest with you, it's just a little bit. He says that he's working his way up. You know, he used to only play 5-10, then he went to 10-20, just like we all do. Now he'll play 25-50. And he says hopefully in the next 6 months he can move his game up to 50-100.
Button's going to move over there to seat 6. That's Juan, and Juan's played it. Boy, we haven't even seen him really play many hands at all, have we?
No, we haven't. He's got that toothpick thing going on
Yeah.
there. Some guys can pull it off, I tell you.
Hey, man, I was
Kind of like goes with like wearing like cowboy hat, I think, sometimes, you know. Limped around here, 5-way action. It's a $50 pot. Again, we're playing 5-10, unrestricted, no limit hold'em. Here we go. Jack, 7-4, rainbow. And Land's got a jack. He's going to check it from up front in seat 7.
And not much of a kicker there.
Kim's got a gut shot to the 8. The turn's another jack, and you'd imagine that, well, Land's going to check it again. And Kim is going to bet. I was going to say, this doesn't really seem to be an aggressive table where you might expect somebody to bet here, Dave. But
The problem is, though, is that Mr. Kim's only going to throw $20 at it. What do you do now? You're
I
out of
know.
position. I mean, I guess you're going to check raise this?
no, he's going to call.
And if an 8 comes out, what's going to happen then?
Well, if an 8 comes out, he's
Ooh,
going to
wow.
fill up.
That'll be the magic card
Yeah,
on it.
and Kim will make a straight. So Land needs an 8 to come up here. And the river's an 8!
Oh, my
Oh,
God, wow. This could get
Holy
ugly.
smokes.
Now, is Mr. Kim going to raise here? That's a paired board.
And Land bets 40, but he never played it like he had a jack the entire time. He's bet 40.
You just wonder, though, it's a paired board. You know, you don't want to go broke in an unraised pot when it's a paired board. You wonder what Mr. Kim's thinking here.
Dave, the bet's 40. The pot is about 140. So it's a real small bet here on the river.
Oftentimes, guys will not raise unless they have the absolute nuts. Let's see.
And he is going to raise, Dave. You've got to think that there's got to be a value raise, you know, in order here from
Yeah.
Mr. Kim. And Land pretty much has the absolute nuts here, doesn't he? He does have the nuts.
Yeah, he's got the nuts.
Yeah. And how much is Kim going to make it here? He's going to make it 175 more, and Land's deep, and Kim is also deep. Land rebought for 2,500. Look at the little shake of the head that he just gave here. The pot now,
Well,
Dave,
I think he's trying to figure out also, how much can I get out of Mr. Kim? What does he have?
he's going to re-raise.
Yeah, of course he's going to re-raise. He's got the absolute nuts.
He's going to make it 500 more. Wow, the pot was about...
Is it 500 more?
Well, it's 500. I guess it's 500 total. So it's 325 more for Kim. Well, I think he could have made a lot more there.
I don't know. I mean, Mr. Kim's thinking about this right now.
He made it 500 to go. And boy, I'm trying to figure out the pot. I mean, when Kim made that
let me
raise
ask you this.
to 175, the pot size was about at that point 350. The guy comes back over the top. We're looking at about between 900 and 1,000 here.
Yeah, he's getting about 2 to 1 on his money. But let me ask you this: what would Land come over the top with on this one? Remember, he bet, you raised, and he re-raised you. What would he come over the top with you on? And he's going to call, only call, I
Well,
think.
let's see.
Can't raise for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just a call.
Yeah, well, he certainly can't raise again. Not with a
Wow.
paired board out there.
Unbelievable. I'm just saying, Dave. At that point, I mean, when Kim makes the raise and the pot balloons up to 350, you know, how much more can you
you
raise?
overbet the pot a little? You mean?
Yeah.
Can you make
Could
it
you come
even-
back
can
over
you
for
make
1,000?
Maybe. You wonder. I mean, the only thing you're thinking there is, what would this guy re-raise me with? Remember, I bet he bet I raised him, and now he's re-raised me. Would he re-raise me with 5-6, which is also a straight? Would he re-raise me with like Ace Jack? I mean, just just 3 jacks,
Right.
or King Jack?
Unbelievable.
Well, we just said it too. We got the 8 would be the magic card, and just like that, boom, the 8 comes off. Pocket queens for Mo.
Seat 3's got pocket 8s. So let's see how much Mo's going to raise it here. He's in the small blind. He's going to make it 80 to go.
Well, you know, you after getting 4 or 5 limpers in there, you got to kind of clean it up a little bit.
C5's going to call with King 9 of diamonds.
Wow. Now, Ali had pocket 8s, and he's not going to call an $80 raise with pocket 8s. This is not his style.
So we're at about 180 here, and here we go, heads up. Shlomi's got an overcard. Oh, Mo hits top set here, Dave. Now
Now, Shlomi does have a draw. Catches a jack. He's got the straight.
Mo's going to bet, looks like 80, and Shlomi's going to call.
He also has backdoor diamonds.
Pot now is about 300. Here we go to the turn. Turns a queen. Mo's made quads.
Now, and Shlomi has the king. He has the king high flush draw here. Let's see if he gets himself in trouble.
Shlomi could actually catch the jack of diamonds. David, we'd have a jackpot and he'd have the winning hand.
Wow, jack of diamonds would be a jackpot.
Yeah.
You are right.
And I think it's still live.
And how much did Mo bet? $75?
He bet 80 again.
So he's kind of like playing at limit hold'em here.
And Shlomi's just going to call again. And here we go
Oh,
to the
come
river.
on, jack of diamonds.
Oh, the river's a jack of hearts.
Oh, what
and
a
Shlomi
tease.
makes a straight, but Mo's got quads. And Mo's going to bet 400 here.
Well, he's hoping he got there.
Full house, so good.
And look at that. He's going to make the call, and Mo's going to win a huge pot over $1,000.
Yeah, he says full house good. Well, I think quads is probably good too. And oh man, what a tease! A red jack has to come out.
He's going
Man,
to
somebody's laughing at me right now.
And Mo was deep. I mean, it would have been a jackpot, Dave, and all the money would have gone in, right? I mean,
Oh, of course.
Shlomi would have won an additional maybe 2,000 or so on that pot.
Quads, so
So
straight
very
flush.
close. So
Yeah.
very close. Wow.
You didn't like that queen, right? When you see the last queen, you think,
Wow.
Ooh. Wow. That's all you can say. The button moves
As
over.
they
to
say,
see it.
my heart, Shirley, my heart.
I really thought we had it there for a second.
That was crazy, yeah.
2 rivers in a row really induce a lot of action. We see
Right.
the 8 2-hands ago, and that one, the jack. Really makes a couple people hands there.
Unbelievable.
Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hanson. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 10.
Interesting email here from Brent Cook.
Yeah.
He says, guys, most places that have any kind of jackpot drop do not allow anything on the table, chip racks, cell phones, etc. We actually don't allow cash on the table because of that.
Yeah.
We don't allow cash in our jackpot games.
What's the reason for that?
I guess something to do with maybe hiding cards or something like that, underneath the bills.
Makes sense. I guess it's the reason you don't want cell phones and shipwrecks and so forth as well.
Mo's going to make it 75 to go here. And let's see if anyone's going to play. I think seat 4's in the hand. We can't see what he has.
And look how Mo bet 80, then 80, right? Kind of bet a little small there. And then he overbets it when he thinks maybe his opponent got there.
Now, Land called here with ace-8 offsuit, and I guess he didn't call. Everybody folded to Mo. It's funny. That's like a once-in-a-million hand or once-in-a-lifetime hand. If you're ever stepping it up, and you always wonder, I always think to myself, Dave, well, boy, I can buy into a big no-limit game because I'll never just go broke. Say the guys were like $40,000, $50,000 deep like you see in 20, 40 Hold'em games. What happens?
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you this, and to be honest with you, well, I'll get to this in a second after this chip count.
So Lan, who rebought for $2,500, is up another $500 because he just won that big pot off of Kim. Kim moves down to $2,200. Mo, I think he's up over $3,000 now, and Shlomi went back down a little bit.
So we're going to bring out the rear 500 there. Now, I was telling you the other day, actually, we were talking about it, and I said, you know what? In No Limit Hold'em, you have to be prepared to risk your entire stack on any hand. You never know when that hand is going to come that your entire stack might be in jeopardy.
Right.
So, you really never want to buy in for more than you're comfortable losing. And if it gets to a point where, let's say you buy in for a $1,000 game and you buy in for $2,000 and you work that up to $10,000, and now you're a little uncomfortable because you have too much money on the table, you really should stop. Because you got to be able to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you shouldn't be playing.
Queen, Queen 10 here. It was limped around. Gilberto's got a flush draw.
I don't think Diamond's going to be good anymore.
I don't think Diamond's good anymore.
And seat number 7 there. That's Lan. He's going to bet 45 here as Queen came on the turn.
What's up with these queens stuck together there or what?
He's got absolutely nothing. He's going to put a bluff out at it.
See if someone has quads
But
again.
Shlomi's going to call, Dave. I don't know. I mean, obviously his straight isn't necessarily good, but is he calling with the ace high thinking it's good?
Well, he
River's
might
an
be,
8.
Well, you think about it. If their opponent didn't bet the queen, queen 10 flop, or did the queen on the turn change anything?
Well, look at this, though. He called the turn. The river was an 8, and now he folded to a $100 bet. Wow.
Wow. Well, maybe you put your opponent on a 10,
Email here from Old Cowboy 1 at AOL.com. He says, is there any max buy-in to these games? The answer is no.
Not in
This
this
is
game.
an unrestricted buy-in. Actually, on Wednesday, our 25-50 game, that is a restricted buy-in. You can buy in for $5,000 at first. First rebuy is $5,000, then it goes to 10, and then it goes to 20.
Now, we have here at the Bicycle Casino, we have a couple of restricted buy-in games. We have a $100 restricted buy-in game, a $200 restricted buy-in game. Then we have our $300 to $500 restricted buy-in game. And our 2 unrestricted games are 5-10 blind unrestricted and the 10-20 blind unrestricted buy-in game.
Donna, Joe, he said he want to play.
Seat 6, I guess he's gotten up and left. Juan. Limped around here. Looks like we got 3-way action. Wow. Jack of Diamonds, Dave. I'll be seeing that card in my dreams.
I swear I thought I saw it there. I was like, wow.
10, deuce, 7.
I was rooting for it. That would have been great.
Right, you got 10 deuce.
Well, unfortunately, it would have lost Mo about $2,000 or $3,000, but he would have gained whatever he would have won from winning the big end of the jackpot.
Exactly. I think he'd be okay there, huh? Lose 2,000, win 8,000.
Sometimes casinos will run gigantic jackpot promotions where the qualifications are bigger.
Yeah.
As opposed to aces full of 10. It's like something like
Then I'll go home.
Well, they'll
odd
sometimes
9s or higher. And I think Party Poker does it where in their jackpots, like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can imagine how many hands they deal out on the computer, and sometimes it's not hit for weeks.
Well, if it's
You know-
a super jackpot and you start having, like, it's got to have quad 9s or better.
Yeah.
Lose to a hand.
Yeah.
And both whole cards have to play. I mean,
Right.
that could go on for millions of hands before you hit it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure what the exact odds are, but if somebody actually were to do that, figure out what the odds are of losing with quad 9s or better, where both whole cards are playing.
That's $4,000 fine. 41,000.
Limped around here. Small blind, Mo, and the big blind. Big blind open limped here with King 10 offsuit on the button.
I picked up
9-9 deuce here.
Go ahead.
It's going to get checked around.
The best hand is actually Shlomi right now, right?
Yeah. He open limped on the button. And Mo's going to take a shot out of it. He's got a gut shot. No one has a diamond, and he's going to take it down. And there it is.
Who win, right?
And that's the stuff that you got to, if you want to be a winning player, no limit, you got to be able to win those little pots that
Right.
nobody else wants. Doyle Brunson said about in his Super System 1 book, he used to say, he was saying, I'll take all that dead money. You know, the pots that nobody wants, I'll take those. And with that extra money, I'm able to gamble a little later on. When I've got a big draw, I can really push. It's nice to switch it up once in a while and get a little short-handed play. Obviously, your strategy has to change.
Yeah, we're playing
Five-handed here.
Five-handed right now?
Yeah.
I came in and everybody ran away.
We had a full game. We had the board. I like to use it at least 20 minutes.
Seat 9 limped in here, Dave, short-handed. Actually, seat 9's the big blind. He's going to raise. He's got ace-queen suited.
One thing I do want to give Shlomi a little credit there for not raising with the straight.
Yep.
I know it seemed obvious to us, but obviously we see the cards. A lot of people will raise when they make that straight.
And Mo's got king 3 of clubs. Allen, is he new to the game?
He came in about 2 minutes ago,
Okay.
and he's going to
got
take it down.
ace-queen suited. He raised, and he's going to take it down.
There you go. Allen played the 10-20 game last night, and from what I saw, he was running pretty good. I played in that game for about an hour, and then I jumped over to the 5-10 game.
Yeah, one of the
Some help.
leaks. Obviously, Allen is not a professional poker player. He just comes here and he has fun, right?
Yeah.
One of the leaks in his game, though, is he has a propensity to call way too much, David, as opposed to raise with some of his bigger hands and his draws, right?
Yeah, he's a bit of a calling station. And, it's tough to win any poker game if you're a calling station.
Limp here.
Great night.
Three-way action. King 8-7, all diamonds. King 7 over there in seat 1. He's flopped top and bottom. And he's going to bet. He bets 50.
Now I was hoping you guys didn't have a...
No one has a diamond, and he shows it, and he's going to take it down. There it is.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you flop 2 pair, and you're just kind of hoping to just win it right there. Can't take too much heat on that one.
Button moves over here to Allen in seat 9.
Go ahead.
Limp here.
Don't raise it, don't raise it, don't raise it.
And we're going to see a raise here by the big blind. He's going to make it 65 to go. He's got king jack off suit.
Want a bad beat?
And it looks like he's going to take it down.
Maybe.
Collection. 50 cents. Collection.
Takes it down.
Take it down there.
Button moves over here to seat 1.
So have you gotten a chance to see Munich yet?
I haven't. Actually, I'm going to... Well, it's funny that you asked me this. We honestly did not talk about this before. I'm going out on a first date with a girl
Really?
going to the movies. And that was one of the things that crossed my mind as seeing.
You're going
But-
to a movie on a first date?
Yeah. Isn't that a
It's
little
always weird.
Yeah, isn't that a little strange? But,
I always think movies on a first date are a little strange, only because
Well-
you're going, well, I mean, you're going to sit there and watch a movie for 2 hours.
well, she told me she wanted to do an activity. So that's all that popped into my head. As
Okay.
opposed to, say, going to coffee or getting a drink.
Going ice skating, say.
Now, I want to see Hostel, but I don't necessarily know if that's a good movie on the first date.
Take it to a porn movie.
But I was going to say, I don't necessarily know if Munich is a good first date movie either.
Why don't you take it to, like, Family Stone? Yeah, Family Stone was actually a pretty good movie. No, Family Stone I saw was a pretty good movie. And it was, it's a little lighter.
Right.
Some funny moments in there.
Okay, we got one more.
And it's kind of romantic. I still say take her to porn. Right away, you get to know what you got.
Porn in West Hollywood, huh?
Well, I didn't say that. You did. So is this an Asian girl?
Of course.
And I'm assuming she has Asian nipples?
One would assume.
One would assume, okay.
Big blinds here in Allen's hand. He's got King Jack in seat 9. Somebody's coming over there. Seat 7. Or seat 3, excuse me. Limped around.
Great night.
King 5-4 here. A couple people have top pair King 9 and King Jack. King Jack for Allen, King 9 for Lan. Oh, I was playing with this guy in the 30 game, Dave.
Yeah,
Pretty much
he's a
all
gambler. He likes to gamble.
Allen's going to bet.
70.
He's going to bet 70.
60, I call you. Not 70.
All right, you put 60. Don't worry about it. I'll give you 10.
And see what Lan is going to do here.
Top pair.
Well, he came out and bet, and I think Allen actually raised him.
Yeah, and you know what? This is part of the game that Allen used to only raise with 2 pair or better. And now he started to raise with top pair, which is obviously a big part of his game.
And Lan's going to call, and we've quickly got about a $250 pot here.
Allen also has been playing a lot over the last few months. He also is a successful businessman, obviously a smart guy. And you wonder if maybe his game is going to start improving just like Ed's has.
Turn is an 8. King Jack is still good here.
Yeah,
And Allen's going to bet here again.
good for him. No free cards.
He bets 100, and look at this. Lan's going to call.
Now, to be honest with you, this might be one of those times the only Jack kicker you might shut down on the river.
River's a 4.
You know what I mean? You can't beat King, Queen. And then sure enough, Allen does shut down.
He's going to take
And I don't mind that. I mean, you got to look at it and go, you know what? I can only beat King 9, King 10. That's the only 2 cards I can beat. 2 hands that I can beat that this guy might have.
It's going to take about a $450 pot right there.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's nice play by Allen.
75.
Yeah, we see it a lot of times. A lot of times, generally speaking, in the higher limits, players are either professional poker players or successful businessmen.
Right.
And the successful businessmen
Oh, I know that.
will obviously lose money in the beginning. And we got a chip count here. You guys can check it out.
Oh, look at this. Nicole's going to come into the game here. Oh, she's not going to come into the
She's
game.
gonna
She's
watch.
just sitting there. Okay, Mo there. He's got,
Mo in the lead.
Yeah, he's in the lead with 3,800 after he won that hand with quads. Shlomi went down a bit after he lost that hand.
Should I pull out my money?
Shlomi's been a roller coaster all day. You know, lost his money early on, then he
Right.
won with aces, and now he's lost with those straight. But often, I was going back to this, oftentimes businessmen will lose in the beginning of their poker careers, and then they basically go 2 different roads. They either stop playing because they've lost too much money, or they start becoming better players. And while they're probably never as good as some of the local pros, they become pretty good. And you look at players like Ken Berg, for example, Kukuru Ken, or, you know, obviously Ed
Right.
and Allen. You wonder if these guys are going to take that next step.
70 money. I was watching it back there though.
We had a raise here by the button. He's got ace 6 of spades, $70, and Mo quickly mucked Queen Jack offsuit, even in a short game in early position. Seat 5 is going to call with a King 10,
Wouldn't be very fair.
and we are heads up.
Heads up here with about a $100 pot.
Put 140. Shlomi checks blind. There's the ace. Lands hit it.
And Shlomi does have second pairs. You're going to get himself in trouble. Flop is ace 10 deuce.
Button's going to bet. And C5 calls here.
Yeah,
Dave, with second
oftentimes,
pair.
yeah, oftentimes second pair can be good. The problem is that ultimate scare card of the ace is out there.
Turns a 7. And this one goes check, check. Now, Land might be inducing a bluff here on the river. River's a 9. Now, if Shlomi checks one more time,
To me, it's an easy check, though. Obviously, you're not going to get anybody off of an ace. At the same time, you know, your 10 is good enough to show down, I think.
no, but I'm talking about for Land. If it gets checked to Land, what is he going to do?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got no kicker.
Right. He checks again.
Well, he's going to throw a little value bet in there. I guess he's pretty sure his ace is good.
Gonna bet 100.
And maybe he thinks he can get called by a pocket pair.
And he does. He gets called by the second pair, and he's going to take it
Yeah.
down. And there it is.
And I mean, I think that was the reason for Land checking the turn. I mean, basically, his ace 6 is not that good a hand. Sometimes by checking the turn, you can artificially keep the pot small. And, you know, with ace 6, you don't really want to take that much heat, obviously. Button moves over to Mo in seat 8. That's Allen with the small blinds. Big blind is Serena. Blinds are 5-10. First to act is actually in seat 5. We've got a bunch of players just coming in the game, but they're going to wait till the blinds to enter the game.
Not the house, it's on me.
Let me get the most expensive bottle of champagne you got.
And
Give me 2 for on.
Shlomi's first to act.
One more.
And he's going to limp in with ace 4.
Yes?
And Land's going to limp in with pocket
Get
3s.
the lime too.
And Mo's got ace queen offsuit, and I'm sure he's going to raise this up.
It's on me.
$80 Mo makes it. That's just kind of his de facto raise there. And the wonder here, and you know what? This is one of those times where he's going to call with pocket threes. And, I don't mind calling with pocket threes. He's very deep if you think you're going to get paid off. But now you're out of position with a small pocket pair against Mo. How do you know where you're at? And this is a perfect example. You didn't hit your 3, but your hand is still good, but you don't know.
No limit, right?
And Mo's going to bet 150. And Land jokes around there. But, the no limit actually would have worked. If Land pushes there, obviously, or raised a significant amount, Mo's going to throw away his ace-queen. Now, oftentimes calling with a small pocket pair, we talk about the implied odds of that play. They're huge if your opponent has aces or kings or queens. But in a case like that where Mo only has ace-queen, the flop's got to come out, one of those once-in-a-year things where it's got to come out like ace blank 3, something like that to really make a lot of money. Because the flop comes out, say, 7-5-3, and you put any heat on it, Mo's not going to call with ace high, obviously. Button moves over to Alan. Small blind is Serena. Big blind is seat 4. I want to say that is... Doesn't look like it's Ali. It is still Ali. Okay. I saw somebody's small forearms. I always thought Ali was bigger than that.
Seat 3, Dave, we talked about, his name is Michael. And, again, he's a businessman. He likes to come down and have fun in the casino. Now, from what I saw in the 30 game, he was stuck pretty good. So sometimes people will move from limit games and move over to no-limit games and think, it's a bigger score quicker, right?
Well, incorrectly, they go, I better move up in limits so I can break even.
Right. Limped around here. King 10 over there for Ali. He's got top 2 pair.
And Ali bets. Pretty straightforward. Ali rarely slow plays.
35.
And look at that. You mentioned the Party Proto jackpot, and we get an email right away, and it's at $205,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Serena's going to call. He's got a gut shot to a queen. Here we go to the turn. Turns an ace.
That doesn't change anything.
But he's going to come out and bet now.
Wow.
He's going to come out and bet on the ace. And Ali's going to call.
And this is what most people, and this is where Ali makes his money. He bets, and people don't believe him.
River's a 9, and now what? He's going to check it now he made a pair?
Well, yeah, I think...
And it goes check.
I think at that point you kind of hope Ali had diamonds, and he missed, and your 9 holds up. But you know what? He obviously doesn't know Ali like you and I know Ali.
Right.
Ali's not betting out on a diamond draw.
Ali is about as consistent, or if you want to say predictable, as it comes. I mean, he pretty much plays it the same way every night.
He makes Dr. Beebe look loose.
Right.
He really does. The way he plays this game, he doesn't call raises unless... if he calls a raise, you're behind.
Right.
If you move all in and he calls you, you're behind.
If you make that mini raise in position on a weak tight table, you bet the flop with nothing, and he calls, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll often raise in position if Ali's in the blind.
Right.
Because to me, it is easy money.
Right. Well, and even if he calls you, if he doesn't hit the flop, he's going to be done with it.
Exactly.
Right?
If he doesn't hit the flop, he'll check, and then I'll bet. And if he calls me one time, I'm pretty much done with it.
Unless, I guess, you think he's on some sort of draw.
Yeah.
Where
he will call with a draw.
Right. 4-way action here. $40 pot limped around. King 4-7 rainbow.
Ace-7 there's the best hand. Serena's got second pair. The ace kicker.
But everyone checks. Turns a 6.
Another diamond out there. And seat 3, Michael there's got the queen of diamonds.
And he's got a pair of 6s now.
$20.
But it gets checked over Serena, and now he's going to bet with ace-7. And he's going to take it down.
It's interesting what you said. I was actually...
Although, look at that. Alan's going to call with pocket deuces with the deuce of diamonds.
Really?
And Alan's going to need to catch a deuce that's not a diamond. The river's an 8. Wow.
Got a 7.
And I assume this is going to get checked down.
And it does. Turn was a 6 of diamonds. River was an 8 of hearts.
It was interesting. I actually played... last night I was playing the 5-10 game, and I played with a woman named Tony, who's actually a dealer at another casino in L.A., and she likes to come here and play No Limit once in a while. And she lost her buy-in in the 5-10 game. And then she even said, she goes, forget it, I got to go make it back. And she went over to the 10-20 game. And as I was leaving, I saw her in that game.
Well, the funny thing is that you can always... You can buy in for whatever you want in the 5-10 game. Obviously, 10-20 is going to play bigger.
Right. And I think that was the point of it. I think she was looking at it there.
Yeah.
From my king jack, I don't think so. You put a 300. I don't think you could steal that pot from me for $300. I don't think so.
trying to think of what was my one of the best first date movies I ever went on.
Pocket aces over here for Ali. He's in the small blind in seat 4, and he's going to raise.
60, Mr. Allen. 60, let me see if my hand is worth it. 60.
And he's going to raise it up to 60.
I saw a sexy, steamy movie called Sea of Love with Al Pacino. That was a good first date movie because it was very suggestive
Seat 9 calls with pocket 4.
without being overly suggestive.
And Ali's going to come out and bet. And you got to think he's got a minimum of ace-jack here, Dave. Jack 5-8.
I'm not thinking about anything except my date movies here, to be honest with you.
Although Ali probably wouldn't raise it out of the blinds with ace-jack, so
No,
he probably had
no
an
way.
overpair. Yeah,
He's got it's a screaming overpair.
right. Button's going to move over there. Now, the interesting thing, though, about Ali,
Is
and sometimes, you see this with other type players, like a Tony, who's one of the props here, is that could Ali ever get away from that hand if you flopped a set? If,
Oh, you
if
mean
the guy
if-
had a set of 5s there, right? could he get
depending on
away
how
from it?
deep Ali is, depending on the player he's playing against, he can get away from it. But obviously, like hey, to be honest with you, there aren't that many players that can get away from aces.
Yeah.
Very few, including the best in the world.
5-way action limped around here. Here we go. $50 pot. A couple of aces are out. 8, 9, 4 with 2 hearts. Doesn't look like anyone really has a piece of this.
No, I don't think anybody's a pair even.
That's what I mean.
See, now Ali had ace queen. Did he even raise out of the on the button?
Nope.
And that gives you some information. If Ali is raising pre-flop, he's got a big pair.
Now, Allen bets out here with ace 7. And seat 5 there, Shlomi calls with an open-ended straight draw. And seat 6 actually has a straight. He's got 6, 10 of diamonds. We don't have it up there. He turned to straight.
You know that?
Next one is the Miyagi.
Yeah.
Says after the 25, 50 blind.
So it was 400 more here for seat 7. We don't have it up. 6, 10 of diamonds, turned to straight.
There he is, Lan.
Yeah.
And Lan's going to take it down. With 2 spades out there and 2 hearts, he didn't want to take any chances.
Right.
Figured just take it down right there, make somebody pay for their draw.
Again, those purple chips are 20. Those white chips are $100 chips. The yellows are $5 chips, and the purples are $25 chips.
Great little post by Surfing Illini here on 2+2. And obviously, you can follow a live thread on 2+2. All you got to do is go to Live at the Bike, our website, and click on the 2+2 thread. Surfing Illini here. Movie on first date is negative EV. Just try getting some food and drunk. You'll get a guaranteed second date as long as she doesn't puke.
But I have to hold it down, though, myself. That's what the problem is.
I'm not sure about the food and the drunk part. Getting drunk. But I know the movie part.
Well, I agree with you. I just, when you think of we want to do an activity, well,
Why don't you go like rollerblading or something like that? Or ice skating or bowling.
yeah, I guess we could go.
Bowling's kind of cool. I love bowling because bowling's great. Like I love bowling with my wife because my wife's got a really nice ass, and she goes up to bowl and I can see it, and I like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, it's a great bowling date. You can right away see what your girl's butt's got.
Button raises here with king queen suited,
It's all about the booty.
and it looks like he's going to take it down. No one's going to flag, and he takes it down.
He may give him back the
And there you go. Interesting post here on 2+2. Perculia says that Casino Arizona started a $500,000 jackpot on November 1st of last year. It was quad jacks beaten. Both cards must play. Everyone figured it would be months before it was hit. It was hit less than 3 hours it was started in a
Wow.
6-12 game with a 8-9 of diamonds on a board of queen jack 10 of diamonds versus ace king of diamonds.
Yeah, that's pretty much one of the only ways it's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure what the odds are, but they've got to be literally like probably 1 in a million. I mean, it's really, really big
Try
odds.
this again.
Seat 5's going to make it 60 to go. He's got pocket kings,
60 is the
and
low.
Mo's got pocket 6s. He's going to call. And Allen's going to call with 7-3 offsuit in the blind. Wow.
Yeah, and that's the obvious. That's the link. That's the leak in Allen's game.
180 here. Here we go. The flop top set of kings for Shlomi.
I mean, it's one thing to call with pocket 6s because if you hit
And
your
he-
set, you know
He
where
checks
you
it.
are.
What happens if Mo were to hit 6 here on the turn? What would happen?
Mo would lose money.
Turn is an ace. And now Shlomi's going to bet 75. And Mo's going to call. And what I was going to say is I always think it's kind of fishy, Mo's drawing dead, when the pre-flop raiser doesn't bet the flop. But Shlomi actually has been checking it when he missed. The river's an ace. Shlomi fills up. The interesting thing for Mo is if he called on the turn thinking his hand was good,
Well, I got to tell you, I love Shlomi's bet here. It's a big
Shlomi's
bet.
going to overbet. He's going to bet 500 here on
Well,
the
you're
river.
hoping Mo had an ace.
Yeah.
Remember, you bet the turn and Mo called you. Mo's representing an ace, right? Well, now another ace comes out. You're hoping Mo has the ace.
Mo is not going to get involved.
Yeah.
And Shlomi shows him.
I like the
kings.
bet there. You know, sometimes people go, well, I want to bet what he's going to pay off. You know what? If he has an ace, he might pay off 500. If he doesn't have an ace, he might not even pay off 50.
Right.
So, give it a shot. But I don't like him showing it, though.
Mo having the Corona over there.
No, it wasn't a strong hand for that.
Mo's going to go over there to the button in seat 8.
No.
Ace Queen here, seat 3. Michael, he's just going to limp in. Ali's going to limp in with pocket 7s. Shlomi's going to limp in here with King 10. And everyone's going to limp in. Mo's got a suited connector on the button. Here we go. It's about a 7-way pot here. To the flop, $70 pot. Here we go. 9-8-5. Mo's hit top 2 pair. C3's going to come out and bet here with Ace Queen, Dave. We see this all the time. People playing big hands pre-flop slow and then can't get away from it when they hit nothing on the flop.
Well, exactly. That's the problem. See, Michael, you said he's a limit hold'em player, and sometimes people make that mistake when they're limit hold'em players and they come here.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of players might call this with pocket 7s, but Ali's already out. I mean, look at the flop. The flop is 9-8-5 rainbow. You have third pair with a gut shot straight draw.
Now, Shlomi called with King 10. Lon called with a pair and a gut shot, and Mo is raised with top 2 here. Pretty coordinated board. He made it 150 to go. And again, when you look at the implied odds of 5-7 here, Dave, I mean, if you catch your 6, Mo's not going to pay you off.
Exactly.
This one.
There are no implied odds there. Actually, the only way you get paid off is if you catch a 5.
Right.
But even there, I mean, Mo's not dumb, you
Right.
know? And you're out of position against him.
Right.
There's just easier money on the table. This post by Nodia, this is funny. I would not suggest going to see a film about the murder of Israeli athletes
Right.
and the story of the death squad dispatched to hunt the killers down on a first date.
Well, I guess it's the same thing with Hostel, right?
I don't know what Hostel is. What's Hostel?
It's that movie about, it's a horror movie about these packers being taken to hostels and being tortured
Oh, that
for
sounds
people
like,
that pay money.
that sounds like an uplifting film.
Right.
Get some popcorn, hey.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Now, this is a question. Is that man's hand dead?
Well, the cards are on the window, so we can see. Limped around here. Oh, look at that. It's Juan. He's moved. He's coming to the game in seat 2.
Now, Juan, I've got to give Juan credit. Juan slow played his full house of aces up on me. He had full houses. He had pocket aces. The flop came out ace 7-7, and he won a pretty big pot off me a couple days ago.
Did you have a 7?
No,
So yeah, I did.
I had a pocket pair myself. I had pocket jacks.
Yeah, I got 4 players there.
4-way action here. Limped around once again. 7 deuce 3, $40 pot. And actually, this one was brought in for a raise, it looks like. I can't tell who the raiser was. But this one's going to get checked around. Turns a deuce.
Ace jack's still good, huh?
$15.
And he's going to bet $15, Dave, into like a $120 pot. And Shlomi's going to call, and the button calls. Allen with King 9.
And they're all just calling.
$15, huh? River's an 8.
And ace jack is still good.
Yeah.
$100.
And he's going to bet 100 now.
Wow. Maybe representing the spades. You know, maybe he bet his spade draw on the turn, and then he got there. So now he's betting it for value. Either way, he's not going to get paid off, obviously, and takes it down with ace high.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, actually, I overplayed a hand. I had pocket jacks and wanted raised, and I actually thought he had queens or kings. And when the flop came out ace 7-7, I thought maybe I can get him off the hand.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Did he check to you?
He did.
Yeah.
He put a small little bet out there, which either suggests a lot of strength or a lot of weakness.
Right.
And I read it as weakness and incorrectly raised him on the turn. He just smooth called to me, and then I said, okay, I know he's got it. And I shut down after that.
Osman raised to 50.
Seat 4 is going to raise here to 50. And that is Ali. What do you put him on a minimum of, Dave? Raised at an early position of 50.
Well, that's pretty much probably
Would
the
he-
minimum right
I
there.
was going to say,
Jacks.
would he raise with pocket 10s? Probably not from up
Yeah,
front.
that's probably it right there. It's Jacks.
Now, Mo's call with pocket 9s. Now, there's a couple ways Mo can actually play this, although he's not heads up. I was going to say, he might play it where if the scare card comes, he could get Ali off the hand.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
he's calling. He's not just calling for a set.
Oh, look at Shlomi. He's flopped a set of 3s, and Ali's got the overpair.
Yeah, and is Ali going to get himself in trouble?
Ali's
It's a
gonna
rainbow
bet.
board.
He bets 150 into a $200 pot. Let's see what Shlomi's going to do here.
Now, if Shlomi just calls, is Mo even going to be in there at all?
You've got to think, though, you have to put Ali on an overpair higher than 9s.
That's what I mean. I don't even think
Mo.
Mo is going to call this.
I think it's an easy fold for Mo.
Well, let's see what Shlomi does first. with
Not
his
even
threes.
if Shlomi folded. And Shlomi's going to raise it up immediately.
Oh, that's pretty easy then. I think he makes it. What does he make? 500 more?
It's at 650 total, so 500 more.
Well, this is the question to you. Can Ali get rid of an overpair?
Yeah.
Now, this is obviously, if it was Mo doing it, who knows? But this is Shlomi doing it, and you kind of wonder.
No, Ali's going to quickly fold it. Give him credit.
Wow. Nice laydown there by Ali. That's a really good laydown. What is,
Especially when Shlomi, shows him his hand.
why is, I understand raising it up. And I know we're advocates for playing it hard and playing fast. But why so much?
Yeah.
You know? Don't you want to make some money on it? I mean, the whole point of playing pocket threes is to get implied odds on it. And you basically take it out of there.
Look at this post here by Chester. The best date movies are horror films because fear heightens sexual attraction. No fooling. And that guy seemed to be a ladies' man. Very funny guy. When
No,
we met him here,
I have
so
no doubt.
I trust him.
No doubt at all. But it's got to be a horror film that's not a true story.
Yeah, but you know what? Hostel isn't really a true story. I mean, people say it's based on true events, but not really. I was actually watching the director and Quentin Tarantino on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel a couple nights ago, and very, very loosely based on a story about something like that happening. We have a raise here by seat 8. That's Mo with Jack 8 of spades, and he's going to take it down. Now, if you don't know what that movie is, it's basically, again, it's about a group of American backpackers who hear that this hostel is great in, I think it's in Eastern Europe, and they get lured into this place, and, these guys basically are running a hostel to torture people, and people come in and pay money to torture people, and these kids are the ones that are going to get tortured. And they based that on a website, apparently, in Indonesia that said, you can pay us to come and kill someone. That's the story that they heard. So
Really?
that's how it's based on.
There are some people I work with here. I wouldn't. Well, let's not get there. Little raise here from Mo. He makes $75 with pocket nines. And Alan calls with ace 4 of hearts.
And look at that C2 there. Is going to call with ace deuce of clubs. That's Juan. Well, you don't think that ace, Juan's trying to peel an ace here, probably.
No, definitely not.
Queen 8-6. Well, Juan's picked up a draw. He's got a not flush draw.
Yeah,
Mo's
I don't
gonna
think
bet.
Juan calls it. I don't think Juan calls if Alan doesn't call.
Mo bets 300. Let's see how Juan's going to play it. He calls. Pot is now about $800.
Heads up, fellas. I'm going to check this.
And Mo checks. Turns an 8.
And let's see if Juan actually.
No, he's going to take a card.
Check again.
Mo checks again, and the river's a 4.
Well, who bet?
And Juan just gave up there.
Nines
Yeah.
and eights.
When Juan checks the turn, it's pretty obvious he does not have a queen.
Well, it would have been interesting to see if Juan had bet the turn, what Mo would have done. I mean, he would really had to put a read on him, right?
It would have been
That's a tough-
interesting. How about if Juan raised the flop?
Yeah, well, it's also a tough spot to put Mo in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always said those middle pocket pairs with only one overcard. It's really
Right.
difficult. I got to tell you, one of the worst places, I think, and some people might go, what? One of the worst places to take a first date, to me, is actually a drive-in movie theater.
Oh, really?
I had one first date at a drive-in movie theater. I thought it was so awkward because you're sitting
When
there.
was this? Back in the 80s when you were like
No,
16 years old?
In New York, there's still there's one drive-in movie theater, and it's kind of cool. But the worst thing about it was you're kind of awkward because you're in this drive-in movie theater, so you can talk to them
Right.
because nobody else is around, and you kind of feel like you should be making out.
Did you make the
But it's your
grab?
first date.
Did you make the grab over there?
It was awkward. It just didn't work. The whole night was just terrible.
Limped around. Ace 6-6 here. And with a couple spades, we got ace queen over there, Allen in seat 9. And Allen checks the ace 6, the ace queen from up front. Turns a deuce of spades. We have another ace in the hand. It's in seat 7, Lon. And let's see if Lon's going to lead here now. Everyone check the flop. Allen checked it with ace queen. Card isn't up there. And now he's going to bet. He bet 75.
Now, is Lang going to get in trouble? He's got ace-5 here. No, he throws it away right away.
Yeah. And Allen takes it down there with ace-queen.
River would have been a 7, wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, there was a drive-in that closed down when I was about 7 years old. I went to the drive-in one time.
Yeah, we still have one. It's great. I mean, they show like 3 different movies. You can sneak in. You can, like, hide in your friend's trunk. Although I think actually now they just charge per car. They don't care how many people you load in there.
Pocket jacks here for seat number 1.
I mean, I've always longed for yesteryear, but I think drive-ins are somewhat overrated.
Now look at Allen. He's going to limp in with an ace rag offsuit under the gun, Dave.
Not even an ace wheel. Ace-8, which is really a bad hand, I think.
And Jax just limps in as well. Oh, excuse me. He's going to raise.
Yeah. He announced the raise verbally, and then he...
$50 raise.
It always shows strength, doesn't it?
$50.
60 is the total
60.
bet. $50 raise.
Now Mo's got a queen 10 in the small blind offsuit. He's not going to play.
One call, I'm there.
And there it is. He's going to take it down.
Somebody calls, I call.
So what's your call?
What was my call? Ace 8 suited.
Ace what?
King suited.
Button's going to move over there to seat 7.
Yeah, the ace 8. I had queen 10.
And Mo's in the small blind.
Put the blind out.
CD.
Enough yellow. I don't want to push yellow. Blind?
I mean, yeah, I guess bowling might be an interesting idea, but what happens if you, lose to the girl?
Not really.
That's going to be a shame,
That's not
right?
what it's about. Yeah, well, it's cool. You can actually, there's a little bit of a competitive spirit there. If she has trouble with the ball, you can help her. Hey, if she doesn't know how to bowl, you can go up there and guide her.
Guide her, quote unquote. Well, Ali has raised to 50, so what does he have? Let's play Ali's hand a little bit dark here before cards will take a little bit to go up there, Dave. Probably you got him on what? 1, 2, 3, or 4 different hands, right?
Okay, fellas.
Ali in seat 4.
Yeah. Well, when he's raising pre-flop,
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much, unless we see something different, you pretty much assume he's got a big pocket pair.
Flop comes out Queen 7-4. Oh, and there it is, Jack.
But you also know you can get Ali off the hand, don't you?
Serena is not in the hand. He has not flopped 2 pair. Ali's going to lead here with pocket jacks. Shlomi folds, and I guess Juan was in there with King 8 of diamonds.
Ali's pretty canny, though. I mean, he seems to have a good instinct in the sense of when he's good and when he's not good. We saw earlier he had 2 pair, and the ace came on the turn, which could have been a scare card, but Ali called. And there with pocket jacks and the guy flopped a set of 3s, he was able to get away from it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna raise? 300? You wanna call 300? No. Okay, let's say I'm double. I said 300. You're gonna call.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Tomorrow night we'll be doing 10-20, no limit hold'em.
Hey, when is your date, by the way?
She wants it to be on Saturday. That will be a cold day in hell.
Why don't you take her to the football game? I mean, take her to a bar. Watch football together.
I actually have done that before.
It's not bad. You get to know what she's made of
I
right
think
away.
my attention's going to be a little bit distracted, though, in that game. Mo's going to raise it here to $60 here on the button. And seat 2's going to call ace 8 suited, and we're heads up. And Juan has Mo dominated here. 6-10-10. Juan checks. Juan actually has ace 9 suited, excuse me. Still has Mo dominated, though.
Yeah, but Mo actually has a draw here.
He bets 110, and Juan folds.
Yep. Sometimes just whoever bets is going to take it down, though.
Yep. But moves over here to seat 1. This girl's actually half Hawaiian, 1/4 Filipino, and 1/4 French. Nice little mix.
You sound like you've made the concoction in your basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get past the 1/4 French, but besides that,
Raise to 50.
$50 raise here. Looks like by I want to say seat 1, ace 10 suited. And Mo's gonna call here out of position with king queen offsuit. Well,
Yeah, he's playing the player, though. I think he thinks he can
Yeah.
outplay these guys.
Give me ace. No ace, I'm gonna lay it down. Give me
and there we go to the
He
flop.
says no ace, he's laying it down.
Jack 5-7. Well, Serena picks up a flush draw.
Let's see if Mo is true to his word here.
Yeah, I can't lay down because I said it was jack. Check here. Oh, check.
Mo checks, and Serena's going to come out and bet.
Pretty straightforward here. On the button, you were the pre-flop raiser, and you flop a flush draw. Why not bet it?
You learn from me 110?
And he's going to bet 110.
Then I have to lay down. 110 is the magic number.
Now, Juan here, he has bottom pair, Dave. And he's going to call.
Magic number.
Wow.
Well, maybe he puts Serena on a flush draw.
Here we go to the turn. Over almost $400 now. Turns to 6. Let's see how Serena's going to play it. Juan checks.
Now, if Serena fires hard here, Juan is going to fold. I guarantee it. But he's got to throw in a nice bet. I mean, he's got to throw in a nice $200 to $300 bet, and now he's going to take
Serena's going to check right behind him. And the river's an 8.
It's a one-liner to a straight out there, but it's not real scary. Remember, Serena was the pre-flop raiser. Do you
Well,
put him on 9s or 4s?
Juan checks, and now Serena's going to go to bed. Again, the pot is about 375, and Serena's going to bet 60, Dave. Oh, 160. Okay, he bets 160, a little under half the size of the pot. It's almost like, he's trying to make it look like I want to get called bet here.
Well, this is one of those questions, okay, this is one of the things I'm pointing out. Would Serena bet an overpair, or would he bet ace-jack, or would he bet even 2-pair here? I don't think so. I think he's only betting a 9, or he's bluffing.
So you look at it, are the chances of him having a 9, would you make this call?
Well, he raised pre-flop.
Yeah.
So to me, he's either got pocket 9s,
A busted flush draw.
or a busted flush draw, or nothing at all. Ace-king, ace-queen. I mean, you got to start, you know what I mean? You start thinking about it. Would he bet ace-jack here? Probably not. I mean, that's a pretty scary board.
And Juan's going to make the call.
Yeah.
And there it is. King 5 is good. Well, like you said, I mean, on the turn, he just kind of, gives away the strength of his hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. If he bets the turn, if he throws in that $160 on the turn, I don't think Juan calls. I think Juan throws it away right there and then.
Well, I get it. A really sneaky river bet there would actually to be value betting a marginal hand against a good player, kind of reversing it, thinking the guy's thinking, well, this guy doesn't have anything because he would check it down with a 4-liner to a straight, right?
Yeah, well, and a real experienced no-limit player,
Yeah.
would bet that, would bet 2-pair, or might even bet pocket kings.
Yeah.
You know, figuring that there's no way this guy's got a 9 or a 4. But I think you hit the nail on the head there when he said he gave away the strength of his hand on the turn when he didn't bet. And you know what? His hand was strong enough to bet. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument that he could take a free card. You know, he doesn't want to get raised out of it. I mean, he was actually a favorite on the flop, wasn't he?
Over cards and a flush draw.
Yeah, he's 15 outs.
Mo's going to bring this one in for 35 out of seat 8. He's got ace rag. Seat 1 calls with ace rag. And, boy, Juan's really loosened up his game. He's in there with 8-5 off suit.
Yeah, you wonder if people pick up on the fact that Mo raises different amounts with different hands. Like here, he's only raising 35 with ace 6. Earlier, he raised 75 with ace queen.
4-way action here. 5-9-7. Mo's going to check. And Juan here, he's got bottom pair, and he's going to bet. He also has a straight draw to the 6.
Now, he really is playing. He usually plays at ABC pretty tight, and he's really mixing his game up tonight.
Well, Mo's got a gut shot. He's going to make the call. He's got an overcard as well. He needs Juan to make 2-pair here.
Or he just needs Juan to miss, and maybe he can bet into him and take it away.
Turns a 7. Mo checks.
A lot of cards Mo can represent.
And
here.
Juan checks right behind him, and the river's a 4. And Mo's going to, Mo needs to bet here. And he's not going to bet a little pussy amount here. He bets 250, Dave. And that's the difference right there, right?
Yeah. Well, the problem with seat 1 there, Serena, I don't know if he had enough money to really get.
Well, it was Juan. Juan in seat 2.
No, I meant the hand before, where Serena only bet 160.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Into about a $160 pot, $200
right.
pot. Although I still think if Serena had done that on the turn, he would have won the pot. Nice bluff by Mo. He earns himself a pot there.
Button moves over here to seat 3.
Ball, go.
So what's the name of that Jim Carrey movie again?
Which one are you talking about?
The one that you recommended going to.
Jim Carrey?
What did you say? Who?
I said Family Stone.
Family Stone.
Family Stone. That's with actually Family Stone. I mean, I tell you, Family Stone's I thought it was a pretty good movie. You know, Christmas kind of family, funny, heartwarming.
Alan limped in here with King Jack offsuit. 5-way action here. Limped around. And here we go to the flop. Queen, 3-9, couple hearts.
Sure.
Looks like 7-9 over there in seat 1. Serena has the best hand. And he's going to bet.
60.
He's going to bet 60 bucks. Oh, Michael's got pocket deuces here.
And Allen's calling here. With King Jack, he's got a gut shot, plus he's got backdoor heart draw. He's got the King of Hearts in his hand.
Actually, you know what? What
Did Allen raise?
I think Michael was the better.
Okay, there we
that's,
go.
That's what it was. Yeah.
There we go.
Turns to 10, and Allen hits the gut shot.
This is one of those
and he
times
checks
where
it.
there's not much implied odds because Michael doesn't have much here.
Michael bets here. And Allen's asking him, how much is it?
175.
Going to bet 175 here.
When Allen raises this, you assume that Michael's obviously.
Now, we
gonna
always
throw it
talk
away.
about how it's hard to slow play when you're out of position. But if you really think the guy is just bluffing, is there ever a chance where you just check call and then check the river? And you just try to let the guy just keep pumping at
Well,
it?
definitely. You got to try to. I mean, that's what the game of poker is. You're
Right.
constantly trying to figure out ways to win the most money on your winning hands.
375.
Well, Allen's going to check raise it up to 375.
And here's one of those times where you kind of hope this guy has like Queen 10, you know, or he has a heart draw. Remember, I mean, Allen is not out of the woods yet in the sense of he doesn't know what Michael has. You know, Michael could have been betting his heart draw this whole time.
And Michael is drawing dead.
Yeah, obviously we can see that. What? Is Michael considering making a move back at him? I mean, maybe he doesn't know Allen. I mean, when Allen shows strength, he's got it.
But you got to know your players and no limit hold'em. Yeah, when Allen shows any strength, you have to put him. Oh, look at this! Michael's going to make the call, Dave. We've got about almost a
And he's drawing dead.
$900
If he
pot.
catches a deuce, he could go broke.
The river's a jack. Ooh, that's a little bit of an action killer there. And I believe Allen has moved all in here.
You know, the funny thing is now that's a card that I got to be honest with you. Why not check it? You know what you're talking about? Why
Right.
not check it? Because what are you going to get called by here?
Right.
What, you think 2 pairs is going to call you?
Well, obviously, if you knew that Michael had pocket deuces, you'd check it.
But maybe you check it and hope that maybe you're representing 2 pair by checking it, and you kind of say, okay, let's see, I'm going to induce a bluff. Maybe he'll try to represent the king.
Right.
Get a question here from Hugh Chardon.
Look at this. See? I put one there. I knew that you were going to make
Hugh Chardon talks about drinking while playing. And wanted to say that he obviously likes to drink while he plays. And I know a lot of people that do like to drink. They say they play better when they're drinking.
Oh, look at that. It's Walter. We haven't seen
Yeah.
him on the show in a while.
Say hi to Walter. Walter likes to play the smaller games often, but once in a while I'll take a shot in a big game.
Pocket 10s here for seat 5 on the button.
And I'll get back to drinking in a minute.
Oh, it's been raised to 75.
And seat 5's going to raise it up. It's going to make it 75 to go. Allen's got an ace-7 of spades over there in seat 9. He's going to make the call. And we're heads up here. About a $160 pot going to the flop.
And Allen's in bad shape here.
I don't know. Greg just did a magic trick over the cards there. 9-5 deuce.
175.
And
Allen checks. Shlomi bets 175.
pretty basic here. And Allen throws it away. Now drinking, I know a lot of people. I mean, actually, when I first started playing Hold'em, my first experience was at the Bellagio, and I felt like I needed to drink beer to play. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh, okay. And, you know, a lot of people feel like that because it loosens you up, makes you feel a little more aggressive, you know, a little less nervous. Obviously, it's a dangerous habit to get into because if you think you need to drink to play well, you know, and you want to play poker for a living or play a lot of poker, obviously, you know, you might become an alcoholic.
Right.
Now, I guess that works well for some people. Like Men the Master, I know he always drinks Corona when he's playing. But obviously, got to be careful.
And he doesn't drink in moderation there either.
Yeah, I mean, most professional poker players I know do not drink while they play. They might have a beer or two. I know once in a while you'll have 3 or 4 Miller Lights. But it's not like you're getting, you know, wasted while you're playing.
Limped around here. 4-way action. $40 pot.
Now, as for drinking while we're commentating,
Well,
I think
we do that all the time,
I
right?
think we should start doing it more.
$35 bet here with top pair by Juan with 8-6 offsuit. Now, Allen's got an open-ended straight draw here with 6-3. He's going to make the call. He needs an ace or a 5 to come. There's 2 clubs out there. Pot's about 130. Turns a club. Now, it would be really great if Alan could actually use this club and bet right into Juan here, wouldn't it?
100.
Juan's going to bet 100.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yep.
You know, if you're especially if you're going for gut shots, you're going for draws like that, you got to think of other cards that might be scary.
And the button moves over here to Mo. Barry Woods representing the thread. I won't read his post, but very funny, Barry.
Why not? Another chip down here. Mo furthers his
Yeah,
lead up to
keep going up
4,300. He's probably up over $2,300 a day now. Man up to 3,400. Remember, he rebought for 2,500. Up 900 since that. Shlomi there, right around 1,600. Serena still really, really short, only 200.
Kind of tough to play this game at that amount.
Really difficult to play with less than $500-600.
Once again, it's limped around. Dave, have we seen such a loose passive Fable? Not in a while. Well, 3-4 here. Mo's flopped a straight. He's on fire. Seat 1's going to come out and bet, and Juan's going to call with the gut shot to the 8, and let's see if Mo's going to raise here. He's got a black 3-4. Flop is 6-5 deuce.
A couple of diamonds out there might make him play it a little faster than he'd want to.
It is different. 30, I call.
He's going to make it
35, I raise.
135, so he raises it up 100.
I don't think anybody can call this. You know, Juan took a little shot at it, but, you know, he doesn't have anything here.
It would be a little different if Juan had 7-9 of diamonds here, Dave, obviously.
Yeah, obviously that would be a flush draw and a gut shot. Here it's just a naked gut shot.
Don't raise. If you want, just call.
No, anybody else I'd call, but I
Just
can't
call.
beat you. I cannot beat you every time.
You cannot beat me?
No, I'd be drawing dead right now. I'm drawing to the nuts, but I'm drawing dead.
You're drawing it.
Drawing
No,
dead.
really, you're drawing it.
And let's see if Mo's going to show it. Yep.
How do you know?
And actually Juan was not drawing dead,
My card goes
but
on the third.
Boy, Mo's just
Not in good
toying
shape.
with these players, isn't he?
yeah, I mean, it looks like that, doesn't it?
We put 35 here.
And the interesting thing is a lot of people will accuse us of, you know, kind of being like
That made me to
Mo supporters, like, wow, Mo is great. And obviously, if anybody goes back a couple of months, we were really critical of Mo's play. I thought there was about a 3 to 5 week span there where Mo's game kind of went down a little bit. And obviously, he's turned that around and he's playing great.
Well, Mo didn't actually. Mo played the queens when he got quad queens heads up, pretty hard. But the one thing that I was never a huge fan of in Mo's game is that sometimes he has a tendency to slow play a little bit too much for my liking, and not in cases where he's trying to let somebody catch up, but you know, just in cases where he could have gotten paid off.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really done that lately, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
But he mixed up his game, and we consistently see him win. You know, and he backs up his game, I tell you.
Limped around here once again. Seat 5's got pocket 9s. 6-way action. Flop comes out Jack, 8, deuce, couple hearts. Seat 3's going to bet here with Jack, 9. That's Michael. He bets 50. Shalomi's going to call with pocket 9s. Wow, and Allen calls with ace 8. Well, second pair overcard. Here we go. 3-way action.
Thank you, Mo.
Pot's about 220. Turns a 5. And Michael's done with it. He's going to check. Shlomi checks. And Allen checks. River's a deuce. Check here by Michael. And Shlomi looks like he's going to come out and bet here. He bets 75. Maybe he thinks he's value betting here. But I'm sure that Michael's probably going to call. Allen might even call. Allen calls, and let's see if Michael overcalls. Michael's going to overcall and win another $150 there on the final street. Jack 9 is good.
Jacks. 9 kicker.
Nice hand there by Michael. Again, Michael's been here pretty much all afternoon playing 30 Hold'em. Button's going to move over here to seat 1.
Thank you all very much.
That's Serena. And it looks like Greg's going to leave the box. Again, if you want to follow a live thread that's started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums. World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Check out our Play for Cash site on the right-hand side of your screen, the LA Poker Scene. You can win a seat at the World Series of Poker. Tons and tons of free rolls. Check it out. Click on the banner. Download the software. Start playing. Put your money where your mouth is. Alan's going to have ace-king. He's going to raise it up. Going to make it 50 to go. Button's got 10-9 offsuit here. Serena's thinking about it, but he's going to fold. And Juan's got a queen-9 of clubs. He's going to call. And Michael's in there with ace-jack.
4 players.
And actually, Michael's in there with ace-7. Lon's in there with ace-jack. So 3 of the aces accounted for. $200 pot. 6-6 deuce. Everyone misses. Alan still has the best hand here with ace-king. But he is not going to bet, and it gets checked around. Turn is a deuce. Now Juan has a club draw. Let's see if he's going to come out and bet. And he is.
75.
He's going to bet 75 here. The only problem is Alan might call. With the double pair board, Alan might call here. And if Alan calls, it's pretty easy to put him on an ace. And he is going to call.
2 players.
Pot is now about 350 as we go to the river. The river's a king, and Alan makes it. He's got a pair. And Juan's just going to give up. And Alan's going to bet 200 here on the river, and Juan's done with the hand. You can also check out our Play for Free site by clicking on the banner that says Play for Free. Download the software, thebike.com's free software. Also 5 weekly free rolls. Chance to win thousands of dollars. Check it out. And again, I want to point out, go to bluffmagazine.com / reader's choice and take that poll. Vote for us as best poker commentators and best poker broadcasts. Even though we're not one of the choices, you have to write us in. And damn it, email those guys. Say you want Live at the Bike in there as one of the choices. Seat 2 here raised to 60 on the button. Juan. Deuce 4 clubs. And seat 1 pulled the limp re-raise, and he's gotten up. It was a $50 raise by Juan. Serena had called. He had limped in. Juan made it 50. Serena re-raised, limp re-raised, and Juan figuring, I guess, he's got odds. He's got live cards. He made the call. We're going to see about a $350 board here. Deuce 4 clubs against Jack 10. And Juan flops a flush. Serena's going to need to catch a running full house, and that's going to do it. Wow. There it is. Serena limped in with Jack 10 of spades. Juan raised it up to 50. Serena pulled the limp re-raise, made it 100. Juan called. And there it is. And Serena's gone. He's out of there. Button moves over here to C3.
Give me something good like a deuce 4.
Suited, right? The nuts, wasn't it?
Wasn't the nuts, but it was pretty good.
Walter's in the big blinds. Be interesting to see if he'll play a hand before our broadcast has ended tonight. Limp here by seat 7. Limp here by seat 2.
5 players.
Ace-king of diamonds here for seat 7. And that was Walter. He chose, excuse me, that was Lamb. He's checked it from up front. Seat 2 is bet here with 9-10. He's open-ended. And Schlom called with a weak top pair.
Schlom? You called him Schlom now?
Schlom.
Shlomi. Schlom.
I didn't see the eye there at the end. And now Juan, who's got 9-10. We're looking at ace-king, 9-10, and queen-deuce.
Well, queen deuce is the best hand, huh?
Yeah. Juan bet with an open-ended straight draw. He did not get there. Shlomi called with a weak top pair. And Lan, who played ace-king, slow, called the flop.
You know, my dad's name is Richard. So once in a while, when he pisses me off, I like to call him Dick.
My dad's name is actually also Richard, but he goes by Dick.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe Shlomi goes by Schlong. You know, you never know.
Schlom.
Schlom. I'm sorry. Actually, and
Sorry about that, Shlomi. I
Shlomi's
didn't see
last
the
name.
eye.
Shlomi's last name is actually Shlomi Ezra. It's like Shlomi better than Ezra, huh? Kind of a cool last name. I like that.
You know the group better than Ezra?
I just said it, obviously.
Limped around. And Shlomi's picked up a big hand here. He's got Queen 7 of diamonds with this flop. Ace Jack 7, pair and a diamond draw. He does not bet.
Wow, and we saw it earlier. He had the club draw with the 9, remember? And he didn't bet it.
And now Lance going to come out and bet as a bluff.
30?
Yes, sir.
Bets
But
30.
now, how do you know where you're at? I mean, remember, you only have bottom pair.
And Shlomi calls.
Right, if land fires again, is Shlomi going to fold?
River's a deuce.
Chips. Can I get some
I
green,
missed.
please?
I got only 7.
Well, Lance just gives up here, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And Button's going to move over there to Walter.
Lines, please.
Mo's going to enter the big blind.
Pretty exciting. Next week, you can catch Live at the Bike every Monday through Friday. And next week, we're going to start it at 7 p.m. And hopefully, obviously, more players are in the casino a little later. So it'll be 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Monday through Friday next week.
40.
Raise here to 40. Ace King off suit.
Raises 40.
Okay, that's now Ollie is raising. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't Ollie. Apologize. That's actually Michael. I thought for a second Ollie was raising without a big pair.
But look at this. We're going to see a re-raise here by seat 7. We can't see his cards. He's going to re-raise out
Now
of the
let's
blind.
guess what he might have. I'm going to guess minimum queens.
Oh.
But I don't know what he has. We're going to see in a second. We have no idea what he has.
2 players.
Michael is called. So
But
we're
I-
heads up. Ace King against a mystery hand. Again, we can't see seat 7's cards.
But I'm going to guess queens. I mean, Lan is a pretty solid player, and I'm
Wow.
off by a couple.
He's got pocket 10s.
Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5 with a couple of diamonds.
I mean, that's about as bad as I would guess that he would have there to re-raise in the blinds.
And he's going to bet about the size of the pot here. He bets 300. Now, Michael's got a wheel draw and overcards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, he's got the ace of hearts. If we had the ace of diamonds in his hand, his hand becomes a little more valuable, but in this case, it's a pretty easy fold.
And there it is. He's going to take it down. New player coming in is seat 1, James. It's buying in for the minimum. 500.
Hey, you see some guys sometimes take a shot in this game for $500. I mean, I got to be honest with you. For me, if I only had $500 to play, I'm going to go play the 3 to 5
3 to 5 game, right?
Yeah, and play at 5-5 blinds.
Yeah.
This game, I like to buy in for a minimum of $1,000, regardless of what the lineup is.
Do you still think that 1,000's a little short? I mean, it's, what is it, 100 times the... Well, I guess it's the same as the 3 to 5 at 500.
Well, it's 100 times the big blind. I think that's enough to play poker with.
Now, Walter here, he's raised to 50. He's got pocket jacks. He's in the cutoff. Alan's going to call with ace-jack off suit.
3
And
players.
there's a clear hand that I would easily fold in the big blind to Walter's raise, regardless if he's in late position or not. Mo is not in the hand. 9-6 deuce with a couple clubs.
Now, seat 2 is in there. Juan's got queen 10,
125.
and Alan is in there with ace-jack, and
Right.
Walter with the jacks.
And Walter bets here with the overpair, and he's going to take it down.
Yeah.
And the turn would have been an ace. But Alan did not get stubborn that time and call with overcards,
Surprisingly.
which
I
he
mean,
sometimes will do.
I'm not sure what Walter bet there. Do you see what Walter bet on the turn on the flop?
He bet 125.
Okay, that's a little bit out of Alan's. If he bets 75, you know Alan's going to call.
Now, the problem with Alan, though, is that say that pot got limped around and then checked around 6 ways. And it got checked over to Walter or seat 5, and he bet the pot. Alan probably would call with overcards. It's
Right.
one of the leaks in his game.
Well, he doesn't really look at the pot. Instead, he
Right.
looks at the bet size. Oh, he's only betting $40 or $50. Even though the pot's 50, he doesn't care. He goes, $50? I'll take one off.
Wow, Michael's limped in here with King's Day, but he did not get the limp re-raise. And we're going to see King 7 ways.
Wow.
Seat 3. But he's flopped. Oh, look, he's flopped top set. And seat number 6 has got King Queen.
Walter's in trouble here. And an unraised pot, top 2 pair. And look at it. It's King, Queen, Deuce, Rainbow board.
He bets 50.
I don't know if Walter can get away from this flop.
And Michael is going to play it slow here. He just calls.
And this is one of the reasons we say don't slow play it here. If an
'Cause
ace or a jack were to
Yeah,
come
there
off,
you go. And now Walter might be able to get away from it, putting the guy on ace 10 now,
you
right?
never know, right?
Yeah.
125.
And he's going to bet 125.
Although I think Walter's pretty short. I don't think Walter's that much money behind him.
And Michael's going to raise to 500.
Now, this is one of those things you go, okay, did the guy call me with King Jack? Because if he called me with King Jack, he might have. This is a hand that he might be betting the same exact way. He made 2 pair. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to get all the money in anyways. Walter's short.
I didn't think Walter could get away from that.
And Walter could catch an ace here to chop. No, nothing. He's drawing dead. He's drawing dead. Yep.
Yeah.
25.
I mean, actually, what he needs another king to come out, because then it's a faulty deck and everybody gets their money back.
Right.
He is drawing dead. Obviously, another queen would just give him a smaller full house.
Rivers is 6. But that is a great example of a hand that we talk about. How it's sometimes hard to slow play out of position. Obviously, you look at that flop. It was limped around. Flop was king, queen, deuce. You're not worried about your hand not being good there. But especially against a good tight player. We were going to say any Broadway card, especially if Walter was deep, he might get away from that for a check raise on the turn. You know?
Well, what he might
Perfect
do,
example.
let's say, for example, Walter has $3,000. This guy's got $3,000.
Right.
He might check raise to 500.
Right.
Walter might call the 500, and then in the river, you know, if he puts in a $1,500 bet, he might go, you know what, I'm out. I don't think this is good. This guy must have a set.
Right.
While on the flop, I don't know if Walter. I mean, it's a real tough hand to get away from.
Yeah.
Top 2.
And Allen's going to raise. Actually, we had a raise here by seat 5. Ace Jack offsuit. He made it 80. Allen called in the button with Jack 10 of spades. We're heads up. And Allen's flopped an open-ended straight draw with flush cards.
Yeah, not
or
bad
the
at all.
backdoor flush draw. But it goes check, check. Oh, now Allen's picked up a monster
Allen's
draw.
got to bet this here. Come on, Allen. Got to bet this, Allen, because your jack high is not good. You got to catch, but your draw is big enough to bet.
Let's see what he's going to do.
Especially
C5
in
is
position.
checked. Now he's
Yeah.
going to bet.
There you go. That's a decent-sized bet. I think he's going to take this down right here.
Well, give some credit to Allen if this guy folds, because we have seen him in the past check it all the way down and lose the hand.
Yeah,
with
and
Jack
the
high.
river, and look at it, the river actually was a 4 of hearts,
Right.
and he wouldn't have gotten there,
Right.
and ace high would have won.
Right.
So that's another pot earned by Allen. Nice, well done there.
Open-ended, straight.
And there you go. Open-ended, straight, and flush draw.
Huge draw.
If it open-ended straight and flush draw means nothing when the 4 of hearts comes out, huh?
You know, one of the reasons why I like to play the 30 game so much, and it just...
30 hold'em mean?
30 hold'em. Here at the bike, I'm specifically talking about Dave, because obviously I keep pretty good records. I think the 30 game is so much easier to beat than the 20 game, because in the 20 game you've got a lot of lingering mid-limit pros that, you know, are decent. But in the 30 game, you've got a lot of guys with money, like a guy like Michael. He was
And
playing
businessmen.
Businessmen. Those guys wouldn't even necessarily check raise you with King Jack in that spot.
Yeah. Well, they're here to gamble. They're having a good time. They
Yeah.
don't really have a firm grasp on what to do in certain situations.
Ace 5-9 here with a couple of hearts. Juan is going to bet. Excuse me, seat
Mo's betting.
8 there is going to bet.
Yeah, Mo's betting with his ace.
Juan calls the flush draw, and Juan makes the flush draw.
Now, this is one of those times. Okay, now, is Mo going to lose any money on this?
Check, check.
Juan checks it. Try to get a little tricky there.
Yep.
Mo's going to check it again.
Well,
No.
Juan's going to come out and bet from early position. That's 60.
$60.
Too bad.
And Mo can't really beat anything. I mean, all the draws got there, Dave.
Nah,
He can't beat 2 pair.
Can't beat 2 pair. He can't beat a real ace, and he can't beat a hearts. But $60 he might just pay off and give some action, and he does.
I have ace. Flush. Ace. Flush.
Now, Mo actually talked to me. I asked Mo, because I said, Mo, why do you call down sometimes? In a case like this, why would you call somebody down? You're pretty sure you're beat. He goes, yeah, I am. He goes, but for my image, he goes, it does help to call down these things, because I don't want people to start taking shots at me.
Right.
He said, if people are paying attention and they think they can get me off a hand, well, then they'll start bluffing a lot of times at the river. I want to have the image that I can never be bluffed. And obviously, I mean, that can be a valuable image. You look at Barry Woods, and obviously you and I both think he takes it to the next level.
Right.
But, you know, it is a valuable. We saw Gore play with Barry Woods recently, and Gore said, I can't play against this guy anymore.
Right, right.
You know? It can be really frustrating when you can't bluff somebody off.
We had a raise here pre-flop. I believe it was by Mo. Ace 7 of clubs to 40. You got a few callers here. Jack 5-10, couple spades.
Open-ended straight draw for Juan there in seat 1.
And Mo is not going to bet. And Juan takes a card, turns a 3 of spades. No one has a spade.
Yeah, and it's going to make his hand even worse now, because now he needs a...
And the river here is a queen, and he makes it.
Yeah, he gets the straight here. And is he even going to bet? He's on the button.
Well,
Nobody's
would
got...
Mo ever take a shot to represent ace-king here? Or is he just going to give up? No.
Call security.
And now, Mo says call security. Juan bet 75.
You gonna let me steal it, Mo? I'm saying call security.
And then he takes it down.
Yeah, he accuses Juan of stealing, but obviously Juan is not stealing. Kind of hoping that somebody made a queen or maybe a small two pair.
Yeah. Email here from Cody Ramode at AOL.com. Bart and David, you guys do a great job analyzing the play. You have my vote in the bluff poll. You tell it like it is, being politically incorrect makes it much more fun and enjoyable. Keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the kind words there. And obviously being politically incorrect and keeping it real and being honest, obviously, makes us some enemies. But, the last thing I want to do is be vanilla.
King 3-3 here. And James comes out and bets here with the king. And Juan's going to call.
James is pretty straightforward. I mean, his pre-flop playing, he'll call a lot of hands.
Picked up a diamond draw with top pair now, too, as well.
Yeah, Juan is almost drawing dead. Juan needs a 7. Actually, any 7 will do because that'll be a full house.
Wow, he's going to lead for 200. There you go.
Hey, you know what? I like the bet by James there because you know what? You try to get Juan off of a weak king. Let's say Juan has king 8 or king 10 or something like that. You can try to get him off it.
Yeah, because if James just bets a little and Juan calls with a weak king and the diamond doesn't come, he's going to lose the hand.
Exactly.
Again, the yellow chips are $5 chips, purples are 25s, and the white chips are $100 chips.
It's really interesting, obviously, when we're sitting here, and sometimes we have to criticize people's play, and if we afterwards, obviously, we have to go out there and face these guys.
Dave, we actually had a discussion I'll get into after this hand. Before the show, limped around here, 5-way action. King, Jack, 5, couple spades. Turn is a jack. Everybody check the flop.
I want to say Juan is the best. No, Alan's got the best hand. He's got 2 pair.
And Walter just folds.
See, now, at that point here, that's an easy bet for Alan, I got to tell you. And he's going to give this pot away, and Juan's going to win it with a queen. You look at it, okay, if anybody had a king...
Now Alan bets.
Yeah, it's too late now. What are you doing, Alan? Come on. You think about it. If anybody had a king on the flop, they're going to bet. If anybody had a jack, now they get trip jacks, okay? You want to find out the likelihood of somebody having jack is very slim. Your 5 is probably good, and it was good.
And Ali's back in the game.
Yep. But he gives the pot away, and then he bets on the river when he's no good anymore.
Dave, we actually had we had a full 5-10 game going earlier on, and then we got word that a couple people left the table because they were displeased with our commentary. I think specifically my commentary. So obviously we always have to open up ourselves to people. We put ourselves out there, and we're open to criticism as well.
Of course, of course.
Now the interesting thing about you is different from me is that you actually work a different schedule than I do, and you're good friends with a lot of these guys, and you play in the game more than I do. And I'll get to a little bit of this afterwards. And Queen Jack 5 here with a couple spades.
And Shlomi's got top pair, not much of a kicker
so
at
does
all.
Mo.
And Mo's got him out kicked. Well, not anymore. Neither kicker plays.
Third spade. I assume Mo's in the blind there.
Yeah, and nobody has a spade here.
And the flop is Queen Jack 5-8, not Queen Queen. The river's a 7.
10.
It would have been really interesting if it was Queen. It wouldn't have made a difference. Obviously, both players, neither kicker plays.
Shlomi's going to bet 10 here.
Your best
Again, the
5
flop
card
is
hand.
Queen Jack 5, A7. And Mo called.
Mo called.
Yeah.
And did Alan call too? Alan called with a pair of 8s.
Well, there you
Ace
go.
8. He overcalled Mo's call. Wow.
Dave and I actually work a different schedule. We're both props here, but Dave works 8 to 12, and I work 1 to 9. So I don't really get to play in the no-limit game like you do after the show is done. You know, a lot of times the limit games will be full, where I'm kind of with that day crew, grinding it out in 30, 60, and 20, 40 limit hold'em. So you have a chance to kind of smooth it over with some of the guys.
Right. Well, over the last 3 months,
right.
I played a lot more no limit than I had in previous months.
Right.
And I think some of the people, they just don't want to play on a table where they're getting criticized. And obviously, I can understand that. And obviously, I hope they understand that, we can't sit here and just kind of, be vanilla and say, oh, everybody's great.
3-way action.
2 players.
James bets 15. Shlomi calls with middle pair. Turns a queen.
Well, Shlomi's got to know that he might be good here.
But it goes check, check. And the river here is an 8, and Shlomi fills up, and he's going to bet.
He throws a little value bet in there. But James's 4 doesn't even play. I mean, he actually has queens and 8s with a 6 kicker. Obviously, 3 pair is not good.
Shlomi takes it down. Looks like a nice, crisp white shirt there, Dave. You ever wear starched shirts? Nicely freshly pressed. Doesn't seem like you're that type of guy, but...
I mean, my wife irons my clothes. If that's what you're asking me. I don't know. Is there starch in them? I have no idea. I have no clue. I mean, she puts it in the washer, she puts it in the dryer, and then she irons it for me.
Great wife. She
She's
said
cool.
your wife's kind of like Martha Stewart, right?
Yeah, she's great. She's really cool. We made a deal when we first started dating.
I will know.
I said, hey, I'll deal all the garbage, and I'll pick up all the dog shit. You do the laundry.
Way action here. Limped around, 10-4-3. Ali's got the best hand with pocket 8s.
I hate laundry.
And as you can see, Ali did not raise preflop, and he did not come up and bet.
I mean, he might throw a little bet in here, yes. And now he says, okay, it's probably safe. I'm going to throw a little bet out there, and he's going to take it down.
He bets 35.
But amazingly, people don't pay attention, and they
Shlomi's
still
gonna
call.
Yeah, ace 4. Walter's got 5-7. He's got a straight draw and a pair.
Yeah, and the best way to play against Ali there is not to call, it's to raise or throw it away.
Well, the other thing, too, about Walter is would Ali come and bet out on a 4 here when there's another overcard? I can't believe that Walter made that call. And James is going to call with a gut shot. River's an ace, and Shlomi hits 2 pair.
Yeah, and it's no big deal. I mean, I got to tell you, Ali doesn't mind that. He throws a little bet in there. He gets a couple of value calls. Somebody sucks out on him. He's not even going to pay off here.
And now Shlomi's going to bet 125. But I'm saying, Walter who plays this game for a living, I just don't see Ali coming out and betting on a 4 when the turn card's a 7, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think maybe he also had a gut shot, and he figured if he hit his 6, maybe he can get paid off by Shlomi. My only thinking there.
We have about a half an hour in the show left. Again, tomorrow night we'll be doing 10:20 no limit hold'em, unrestricted buy-in, and that'll be the last night of our 6 Pacific time start.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be moving to 7 o'clock.
Then we're going to do our best to make our producer and our director night owls. Eventually pushing this show to like 9 to 3 in the morning.
Well, Isaac has a lot of parties to go to after the show. I think he was a little bit upset about the later start.
Well,
3-way action here, limped around.
Unlike you, I know you date one girl at a time. He usually dates 3 or 4 at the same time.
That's why he's my favorite. Turns a 7. And now Michael's going to come out and bet here with a weak second pair. And he's
You better be careful here. He could always mute us.
That's right.
The power of the director.
Button's going to move over here to Juan in seat 2. Have you noticed, Dave, that, since I've been playing the last couple of months, I used to always wear my sunglasses indoors, and now I haven't been. Have you taken notice to that at all?
No.
No.
Why have you not?
Well, Jennifer Bankston came over to me one day, one of our former commentators.
Yes.
Prop, and she said, Bart, you look like a pretentious asshole wearing sunglasses indoors. And she's the sweetest girl in the world.
She said that?
She said that to me. I had to listen.
Wow. Well, I want to ask you a question after this.
We had a raise here to 30 by Mo, 6-3 of hearts. Oh, excuse me, by Michael with King Queen.
Yeah. Mo's going to call, though, with 3-6 of hearts.
4-way action.
$120 pot.
8-9 Queen. And Michael's got top pair, and he's going to bet.
Yeah. Now, Shlomi has he has backdoor spades, and he's got a gut shot straight draw.
Yeah.
Mo's got absolutely nothing. Ollie's got absolutely nothing. And
Michael comes out and bets 150.
Well, the pot's 120. It's not really that much of an overbet. It's kind of a scary board. I don't mind the bet at all. I mean, he's got king, queen. He doesn't have a spade in his hand. He really wants to take it down now. And if somebody's going to call, he's going to make somebody pay for their draw. I mean, you think about it. If anybody has a jack or a 10, they've got a gut shot here. No. And if anybody has spades, obviously, you want to make them pay for it.
And there it is.
Take
What were
it
you going
down.
to say?
I don't know. What was I talking about? Why did you wear sunglasses indoors?
Well, the thing is,
Just
is
out of
that
curiosity.
the glasses are prescription glasses.
Right, but why did you wear sunglasses rather than your regular prescription
Oh,
glasses?
because I think that I look better in sunglasses, especially the reflective.
So it was all just, it was pure vanity.
Right. Pure
Oh, okay,
vanity.
okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't to help your game, it wasn't to hide your eyes.
Well, yeah, I definitely need to hide my eyes in a stud high-low game.
I didn't know, so I was wondering. I wasn't sure if it was that or just to look good. Okay. Okay.
I didn't want to show him how young I was in the
Yeah.
game.
Okay, I mean, either way. So I was going to wonder, because I thought if you were wearing them for your performance, obviously to hide your tells,
Right.
it was odd that you would just take them off only because a girl said it. Especially
Oh.
considering Jennifer Bankston's not Asian.
She's a cutie, though.
What? She's not Asian, though.
Yeah, so what?
Oh my God. What is this world coming
You
to?
know, on a more serious note, but kind of what we've been talking about throughout the year, another stud high-low regular passed away here last week, Kenny.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
That makes 3 since I've been here, of the guys that come here on a
wow.
regular basis.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Kenny used to play a lot of the tournaments, the stud high-low tournaments.
$55 raise here.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Alan's going to call.
Wow.
8 deuce deuce here. Now Alan's got overcards and a flush draw. Mo brought this one in for a raise. And Mo's going to bet. If Alan were to raise this at any time, Dave, he would take it down. And if he misses, Mo just might win it in a showdown. This
Yeah,
is the thing. Turn
And
to
Alan's
6.
hand is not that strong here because he shares the 10 with Mo.
Mo's going to bet 150, and Alan calls again. And you got to think.
And see how quickly he calls? It's kind of
He's
like
on a
obvious,
draw,
like
right?
draw. Yeah, exactly.
And the river's a 3, Dave.
And Mo will probably check, or maybe he'll bet again.
Yeah, he's going to bet 100. Oh, and Alan's going to raise now.
Yeah, but he might get called. This has been a new little part of Alan's game.
Alan's going to make it 150. Well, there it is.
Wow, what a play by Alan.
And he shows the bluff.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at
I
that.
think Mo made it too much of kind of a weak bet on the river. I mean, he bet 100 into a $500 pot.
Yeah, you wonder if he'd thrown like a $250 bet. Or you wonder if he'd checked just to induce the bluff, if maybe Alan might have just thrown 150 in there and then Mo can call. Tougher to call that raise. Nice play by Alan. You know, we were really writing him off a little too early there, huh?
He doesn't know what's going to happen next year.
Well, that's bad news about Kenny. Rest in peace. Really nice guy.
30.
$30 raise here.
Oh, you want to talk 20 more?
He's done it all the time.
Thank you, Surfing Illini, for the Asian porn links on 2+2. Here we go to the flop. 10-5 deuce, and Mo has got ace 10 here. He's
I
gonna
do apologize. We're trying to keep this show as a family show, guys.
Right.
I find myself constantly apologizing to you, Bart.
Yes, constantly. Constantly.
Lions, please. So you want back in?
Actually, I have a question here on 2+2.
Yes?
From No Idea. He says, Bart and Dave, at what level game do you have to reach to consider giving up your propping jobs and just playing full-time? Well, to answer for me, and I think you agree with me, Dave, we've been on the same line, we wouldn't be propping here if we weren't doing this show. But it makes a lot of sense for us to come down here because we have to be down here 5 days a week.
I've been
anyway.
contemplating, actually, over the
Right.
last 3 weeks to a month, I've actually been contemplating getting rid of the propping, just doing live at the bike, and then playing on my own.
Right. We had a raise here by C3, ace 10 offsuit. Michael made it 100. Juan's going to get away from
Yeah,
it.
Michael takes that. But it would be frustrating for me, obviously. If you're playing on your own, you're obviously the biggest part of playing on your own is your game selection. Barry Greenstein talks about that on Ace in the River. Great book, by the way. I recommend it highly. But he talks about game selection is actually almost as important, if not more important, than your playing ability.
Right.
And what would be frustrating for me is if I drove down here for a 3-hour show, there was no real good game, and then I just drove home for it.
Right.
While if I'm playing on my own, I can make a phone call. I can call Mo up. I can
Right.
call up, a couple of floor men here, ask them how the games are, and then drive down and play accordingly.
$15 raise here by Juan, 6-4 clubs.
Replay.
And we got 3-way action here. And Juan's got a top pair here and a straight draw.
Yeah, top pair gut shot here. Mo's got a 10-3, but he's in the big blind. I don't think he's going to get caught
Interesting.
here.
And actually, it wasn't a $15 raise. Juan had limped in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And now it gets checked to Mo, and he bets 35. Juan calls, and Land's got top pair.
And is Lang going to raise this, maybe? He's only got a queen. Not much of a kicker, but...
Myself, 3 numbers.
And he's
Yeah, it
going to
looks like
raise
he
this
is gonna
up.
rate it. He's going to make it 100 more.
And I think that's going to be enough to take this down.
100 more? Yes, sir. Okay, I want to take it.
And let's see. Mo says, how much can I raise here?
I don't understand why Juan didn't bet the flop. You got
Not-
top pair and a gut shot. What do you...
Yeah.
You're in position. What do you... I can't understand not betting that flop. I mean, as if your 6-4 was like, you know...
Well, obviously, Land wasn't going to stay in there if he had bet. Mo,
Of course not.
Mo wasn't going to stay in there either. At 10-3,
No, he takes
would've
it down
taken
right then and there.
Yeah.
Instead, Mo throws $35 in there. Juan calls the 35 and then has to throw it away anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand the play.
The other thing, too, about Live at the Bike, Dave, is that, you know, even though we've been on for almost a year now,
Yeah.
we are still kind of, kind of like a low-budget venture. And for somebody, you know, to live in L.A. and have to be down here for 3 hours a day, I think it actually makes sense in the long run to keep our propping jobs because of the hourly that you get in the job.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I've been struggling with it
Yeah.
over the last 3 months where I've
Yeah.
really been trying to play a lot more no limit and less
Right.
limit hold'em. It's been a struggle for me. Obviously, being a prop, oftentimes I'll be playing in a juicy no limit game and they'll pick me up and put
Right.
me in a 20 hold'em game. And obviously you know that as well.
Well, at least you get to play no limit.
Yeah, and it can be frustrating. I mean, to be honest with you, there's no way I would do it if I had your shift.
Wow, look at this. We have a raise here by Walter, and seat 1 is going to raise all in.
Well, I don't.
Out of the blind.
Wow, all in?
And where's the button in this hand? Did he pull the limp? He pulled the limp re-raise, Dave. He limped under the gun. Walter raised, and he limp re-raises all in with ace-queen.
But you know what? Moving all in, you can really have any 2 cards to move all in. Calling an all in, you have to have a real big hand. You can't call all in with ace-queen, but you certainly can move all in with ace-queen.
All right, there you go. Did you say you wouldn't do it if you had my shift?
No, there's no way I'd prop if I was you.
Yeah.
I had your shift.
Yeah.
Because you play probably 90% limit hold'em.
Right.
A little bit of stud high low and just a tad of no limit.
Right.
While I probably play more like 50-50 now.
Yeah.
And it makes it a little more workable for me.
Well, maybe I should consider changing my shift as well.
I mean, I can't believe you don't.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Especially considering the day crew.
Limped around here. It's actually something I can think about overnight as we change times to next week now.
Well, obviously, you'd have to change it. I mean, I know your
Yeah.
shift right now is 1 to 9. You'd have to change it to 2 to 10 anyway.
Well, I am changing it to
Right.
2 to 10. Limped around here.
10.
I'm sure everyone out there is really interested about this conversation we're having. But it applies to the question.
Yeah,
the guy asked.
definitely.
Yeah. Now, seat 9 called the 10 here with a 6. Seat 1 had bet here with a 4. Turns a jack, and it goes check, check. And the river's a 6, and
Well,
Allen spikes.
Yeah, Allen
Trips.
didn't even need it, but there he's got trips there, and he'll probably a little value bet in there. And James, I don't think James is going to call this with bottom pair.
85.
And can you 100% pretty much put Allen on a 6 here? I mean, real
No,
strong.
I actually can't now because Allen will bet with a busted diamond draw. He's done that. He's been betting the river on busted draws. He rarely will.
Okay, a draw, a misdraw, or a 6.
Right.
That's what
The one thing
yeah.
with Allen's game, and as I like it, is he's starting to bluff on the river when he misses the draw.
Yeah, we've seen him do that. We saw him move all in a couple. I
Yeah.
think it was a couple shows ago.
The only thing he doesn't do, though, he rarely will draw. He'll rarely bluff on the flop or the turn. He waits to the river to do it. So if he raises you on the flop or the turn, he's probably got it. I mean, I'll tell you, one of the most valuable things of propping actually isn't the pay. It's really the benefits and the rake back.
King 9-4, limped around. He's gonna get checked around here. Turns a deuce. Juan's got a deuce, but Allen's got a pair of 4s, which appears to be the best hand.
I can feel it.
Well, Juan's gonna come out and bet 50 from seat 2, and Allen's gonna call. River's a 5,
One pair.
and this one's gonna get checked down.
6, 4.
And there it is. funny, Dave, you know, when I actually got to the casino today, I actually hopped into a $100 no-limit game. It was the only thing that was open.
Right.
And I quickly won $420 in a half an hour.
Wow.
And actually, our buddy Michael, SP Surf and Michael, came into the table from 2+2. $420 in
That's
half an hour and $100 no.
Pretty good hourly rate.
Yeah.
In a game where blinds are $2 and $3.
I flopped 3 sets, had an overpair.
And got paid off every time.
I actually flopped a set of jacks, and other guys had, you know, I got 3 or 4 people to call all in with their draws. I filled up on the turn, made a flush on the turn, and flopped another set. 6-way action here.
Not last night. Last night you got out.
King Jack 6, couple clubs.
Remember you told me you got hurt from.
Nobody has a king or a jack here, folks.
Ace 10 of clubs though for seat 5, and he didn't bet. Big draw.
It's a huge draw. Gut shot with the flush draw. How do you not bet that?
Gets checked around again, and the river's a 3.
And he lets everybody get there. And I want to say the best hand now is what? Michael? With a 3? No, James has got a pair of 5s.
Yep, James has got a 5. Turn was a 5 of spades. River was a 3 of hearts.
And you give somebody the pot there. Yeah, you got to take a shot at it. Come on, Shlomi. That's funny, just to get back on the propping thing, because a lot of people will ask me, like, wow, propping, you get paid to play poker. Yeah, it's great, obviously, but obviously you've got to play in some bad games occasionally.
Right.
But the rake back to me and the benefits is where it really kicks in. Obviously, you get health insurance and so
Right.
forth for your family and you. Also, you know, try getting a loan or a mortgage, being a professional poker player. But being a prop, it gives you a job and you have a chance. But the nice thing about getting rake back is it is tax-free because it obviously is reimbursement, which is a big perk of being a prop.
Limped around here again. And actually, one of the definitions of being a prop, and you can tell what some of the bad sides of being about it is, when the game's bad, you're always in it. When the game's good, you're never in it.
Exactly.
King 8-3 here, rainbow. Checked around, turns an ace.
Well, Ollie's picked up his ace here. And he bets $50. Now, Ollie's got what? Minimum here? Ace, king? Right? And he takes it down. And once again, I mean, there's no real reason for Ollie to mix up his play because the way he looks at it is they're paying me off anyway.
Right.
You know, yeah, I'm not making as much as, say, Mo makes because Mo gambles a little more. But, hey, I'm happy with this nice, steady, nice, steady earning.
Actually, no, the more I think about it,
Yeah.
the time change is actually going to affect you a little bit now, too, because you come in at 4. You're actually going to have to play more of an hour more of that kind of daytime limit stuff.
Yeah, I think I'll probably change, actually, to 5 to 1. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 players. Peter.
4-way action.
I wasn't thinking about it until you just mentioned it. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're going, I'm right. You're right.
King 9 deuce here.
35.
Are you kind of in your own authorization to do that?
No, I'm not, but I can request it, though.
Land bet. Got a call here by Allen. Turns a king. Allen's got queen 10. He's got a gut shot. And Land checks the trip kings. And Allen's going to check right behind him.
Yeah, not much point in checking to Allen because Allen's not going to bluff on the turn.
Yeah,
Now, he
Land
might bluff
gave-
on the river.
Land gave him a free card. Turn was a king. River was a deuce of clubs.
And why would you bet it there? Now that the deuce of clubs comes out, isn't that kind of scary?
Oh, he's got a full house.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
see. Okay, right. For some reason, I didn't see the pair of
Yeah.
deuce out there. We're kind of on the air here, airing our dirty laundry.
Right.
But I kind of feel like Live at the Bike and our fans, I kind of feel like we're a big family. We like to keep the show as interactive as possible, obviously through emails and through our live threads.
Look at
And,
this email from Dave Jones. I'll vote for you guys if Dave can go all night tomorrow without saying, I gotta be honest with you.
Oh, man. Wow.
Limped around here. 5-way action. Here we go. King 8-5. All clubs. Seat 5's got a club draw.
Actually, King of Spades is out there.
Yeah. King 8-5. Couple clubs.
25.
But seat 5 still has a flush draw, right? Yeah.
Seat 1's going to bet 25 with ace 5. 1 just calls with king 6 of diamonds. Seat 5's going to call. Is anyone ever going to raise here? 5-way action. Walter's in there with a red open-ended straight draw. Turn is a 6.
Well, Juan's made 2 pair. And, James shuts down.
Schlamm's picked up a gut shot now with his club draw.
And Juan's going to probably make a pretty big...
Yep.
100? That's it?
Well, the flop is king of spades, 5 of clubs, 8 of clubs. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, there's no flush out there. Why is he only betting $100? What's the pot? The pot's almost 200.
And Schlamm folds the flush draw and the gut shot. Schlamming, excuse me. And Juan's going to take it down.
I mean, and Juan takes it down, but I mean, that's a really small bet. I mean, there's a lot of draws out there. I'm really surprised. With 2 pair there, do you really want to see the river? And if you're going to see the river, don't you want to make somebody pay for it?
When C5's been calling with his draws all the time, and he just folded there. Pretty big draw. 9 club outs and 3 more straight outs. 1 card to come. Limped around again here. Six-way action. $60 pot. Queen 9-3. All hearts.
Who's the hottie behind Allen?
That's 25.
Mo came out and bet 25 here, Dave, with middle pair. Actually, Mo's got pocket 5s, he bet. Allen called. We're heads up. So now is Mo just going to shut down, or is he going to try to get Allen off the hand? Turns a queen. Mo's going to bet again. He's going to bet 150. And there you go. He takes it down.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, okay, wait. Allen wasn't scared of... He wasn't scared of the queen when there was 1 queen out there. Now the board pairs with another queen, and now he goes, oh, well, you must have it now.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mind folding it there. It's 9-5 is not a hand to lose a lot of money on, but still. Is that somebody's girlfriend behind Mo there? Her name is Tabitha, supposedly. Unfortunately, we don't have Ray, our cameraman. Our great Ray.
We can't get a great shot.
So we can't get a great shot of it. Oh, well, look at that, Isaac. Pulls it out of the hat.
You like the blonde highlights there?
It's just cute.
One on the pot.
And we're going to see a raise here by Lon. We can't see what he has in seat 7. Last time he did this with pocket 10s, there were 6 limpers. He's got jacks this time, and he made it 260 to go.
260 more.
Now, seat 1's got a king-queen suited, Dave. Does he have enough money to make this call? Wow, he's only got 500. He's going to call half his stack off with king-queen suited out of
Why
seat
not
1.
move all in
Right.
like he did with the ace-queen? That was a better play than this one is. And once again, this guy raising in the small blind. A lot of times when people raise the blinds, they're representing a big pocket pair. And he outflops, and look at that. James gets 2 pair kings up.
Yep, king 5-5. And land moves all in, but James hasn't. I mean, James put him in a situation where he has to call when a king appears. What if the guy had aces or ace-king?
You're going to lose.
You're going to lose,
Yes,
right?
I mean, if you're going to call $200 pre-flop with
Right,
king
when you only
queen,
have 500.
you're certainly not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that land is in bad shape.
Land can catch a jack here or running spades. Turns at 3. Needs a jack and a jack only. That's not going to do it.
No. And James doubles up.
How much?
I mean, you got to know, obviously, you're gambling there when you're calling with king, queen of clubs.
How much?
And this is apparently, a couple people are saying on the thread, is James Hopner. He made the final table of the first WPT World Championship. He was actually on the main event of 2004. He got a bad beat against that Swedish guy, Dave, and I can't... His name
Who will help you?
I just saw it here a second ago. Matthias? Last name there? Swedish player?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So this guy, James Hepler, I didn't realize he's a tournament player. Wow, okay.
I thought it was a red 10. Okay.
Well, tournament players, they come in all shapes and sizes.
So I would have got the burn card.
Well, moving all in with that ace-queen, that certainly was a tournament play, right?
Yeah.
And gambling it up with king-queen, kind of a tournament play to kind of accumulate a lot of chips. You know, trying to get a lot of chips early on.
They raised it, made it 40.
$40 raise here on the button by Long. You can see one queen. He's got the queen of spades, and James is going to call. James has got ace 8 of diamonds. Again, we can only see one card of Lon's in seat 7s.
Can you put your cards on one, too? Thank you.
He's got king queen offsuit. Now James has outflopped him. Hidden ace, ace 9-6 with a couple clubs. Check, check. King queen didn't bet. And he's picked up the nut flush draw now, king queen in seat 7. Check, check again. And he gets there. Takes 2 free cards. The river's a 10. He's got the nut flush. And now he's going to bet.
I'm assuming James now, since he's given him the free card, I'm assuming he's going to let it go. I mean, if you're going to play your pair of aces that passively, you certainly don't want to call.
He did call, Dave. He did call.
Wow. Okay. What do I know? I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing if you bet the flop and he calls you, and then you bet the turn and the guy calls you, and the river comes out of club, and then he bets a little bit, and you go, well, okay, if you earned it, okay, let me see what it is. But in a case where you check twice, you almost given up on the pot. Kathy Liebert talked about this in her, obviously when she was on Live at the Bike. If you're giving up on the pot, why are you going to then pay off your opponent? If you want to check out that episode, we're actually talking about the Kathy Liebert episode, you can actually subscribe to the archives. All you got to do is go to liveatthebike.com. Top left corner, we have subscribes, archives there. And for $14.95 a month, you get every show we've ever done.
Yeah, the on-demand banner.
Yeah, I mean,
one of a new feature I think I want to actually start doing on the show is maybe point people to interesting episodes that are in the archives. Maybe they missed it the first time around. We were actually talking about one of the first whale games, and I don't know the date off of my head, but you can check it out. 400-800 limit with Jerry Buss,
Tim Fan,
David. That was one of the first.
Sean Shaken.
You did it with me.
Sean Shaken.
Yeah.
And
824. Look at this. C3's limped in with pocket kings again, and he did not get the limp re-raise again.
Well, last time it worked out well for him. Let's see if it does again.
But look at the flop now.
And he checked.
He checked. 10-9-6, couple hearts, turns a jack.
Well, maybe he's going to try to play it really slow and just kind of not lose a lot of money.
James is going to bet 10 now with Jack 3.
$10.
And he's going to raise.
60.
He makes it 60.
Well, he's got a draw. I mean, if he catches a queen, he's got the straight.
I don't know, Dave. I don't really like the board here with kings and an unlimped.
No, I have to agree with you.
And Allen's going to call with ace 8.
Yeah, well, he's got the bottom end of the straight draw. Obviously, if a queen comes, he can't like his 8. But if a 7 comes, he figures he's probably good.
Yeah, so check out 824 in the archives.
And James called too. No, James folded.
Yeah. River's a jack. Oh, man, James would have made trips.
Yeah, and James is out of the hand, obviously.
And Michael's not going to bet here on the end.
No. Well, give him credit at least. He tried to do the limp re-raise. It didn't work, and he didn't go broke in the pot. Kept it small.
Sometimes people are creatures of habit. It worked for him last time, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be doing that at this table. Would you? Limp re-raise at this table?
It's not my style, but I really don't like the limp re-raise personally because to me, the limp re-raise kind of gives away my hand. You know what I mean? I'd almost rather the limp and then have somebody else raise and I just call and get a heads up that way.
Mm-hmm. Button moves over there to Allen in seat 9. Got about 5 or 10 minutes left in the show. Well, we've seen a lot of king queens here. Walter's got it again.
So what was the date you said it was?
8/24, August 24th.
How do you know that? I mean, that's uncanny.
7-way action. 7-7-6 limped around. No one's got a 7 here. It does not look like.
I tell people criticize you and the job you do. Man, your dedication is amazing.
Turns at 3. We got a flush draw over there. 2 flush draws. Michael in seat 3 and seat 2. But now seat 5 is going to come out and bet 30 with 6-5 of clubs.
Well, he figures, okay, the coast is probably clear. Nobody's got a 5. Nobody's got a 7. I'm going to take a shot at it.
Juan's going to call. And Michael's going to call with the flush draw.
3 players.
Well, if the spade comes out, what happens here?
And the river is a jack.
And James is not in there, folks.
No.
So Jack doesn't change anything, and I think Shlomi still has the best hand. And he does. He takes it down.
Thank you.
Button moves over here to seat 9. Mo's just quietly making money, as usual.
I won the one more.
Seat 7's going to raise here. We can see one king. King and diamonds. We can't see the other card.
But he probably has a better kicker than Mo, because Mo has king 8.
He's got pocket kings, and Alan's going to call with ace jack of clubs.
Yeah, Alan will never. I mean, it's got to be a huge like raise and re-raise from Alan to throw away ace jack suited before the flop.
Four heads up. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Jack 6-6. Alan can get in some real trouble now, dude.
Yes, he can, without a doubt.
He's hit top pair, but Land's got the over pair.
And that is a troublesome flop there. And Alan's been playing a little more aggressively lately. See what happens.
And Land checked, and Alan bets 200.
And the pot is now about
350.
350. There you go.
What a great flop again. When the board pairs, Dave, and you've got the over pair.
You can't really put Alan on a 6 here. Remember, it was a raised pot.
And he's just going to check call.
You put him on the jack.
Pot's now 550. Here we go to the turn. Turns another 6. Oh, wow. It's getting better and better for kings now. And now Alan's going to bet 400. It's a $900 pot.
Well, he's...
And Lance just going to check call. He's out of position.
Why not check raise there?
The river's... It's 1,300. The river's an 8. And he just checked it down. What? What was Land doing there?
I don't know. I mean, I thought the play on the flop was curious, but then I thought the turn play, I said, you know what, he's getting Alan to put so much money in there that Alan's not going to be able to get away from it.
Right.
And I thought he would check raise him on the turn. You gotta put Alan on a jack there. Remember, it's a raised pot. Alan is playing it really aggressive. He's probably got ace jack or king jack.
I mean, if I didn't know that Land took down the pot there, Dave, at the end, and I didn't see his cards, I'd say you'd have pocket 9s or pocket 10s, and Alan would have won.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
really. Man, really odd way to play that hand. I think he really probably gave up about whatever Alan's got in front of him. I don't think Alan gets away from it on the turn.
Full house.
I just don't think Alan can get away from that hand. I think after he bets 200 on the flop and then 400 on the turn,
right?
If you check raise him another 600, Alan's going to call.
You can even move all in, move the rest of his chips in on the river too. He's going to call.
Yeah, well, you can check raise 600 and then bet the other 500 on the river.
50.
Gets checked over to Juan here. He's got ace 7. The flop came king 7-5. He's going to bet 50. Now Alan's going to get involved here. He's got queen 7. He makes the check call. So we're heads up ace 7 against queen 7, seat 9 against seat 2. The turn's a 6.
Well, it doesn't change anything.
Gets checked over, and Juan's going to continue to bet. He bets 100 now. There you go.
But Juan's the type of player that if he bets once, he's going to continue betting generally, unless somebody kind of tells him he doesn't have the best hand. And in that case, nobody raised him. He said, okay, I'm going to keep betting. Button moves over to seat 3. Once again, we're watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 10. Tomorrow night's game is going to be our 10-20 game, which plays pretty big. And a bunch of limpers here.
C3's going to raise here.
Yeah, well, Michael's got pocket jacks, and he's going to make it 60 to go. And I don't know if that's enough money there. There's a lot of limpers. And Ollie looks like he's about to throw his $5 chip in there, but he folds.
So pocket jacks here.
On the button. And they've been going around. A lot of pocket jacks today, huh?
Three-way action here. So here we go. Queen, 8 deuce, and look at this king-queen outflops him there, seat 7.
Yeah, and what is Alan in there with? He called a $60 raise with 10-6 of diamonds here.
And it gets checked over to Michael, and he's going to bet 100 here. There's only one overcard here. And again, I mean, Lance got the best hand now, Dave, but it really puts you in a tough spot with king-queen offsuit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. It's one of those hands where oftentimes you win a small pot or you lose a big pot.
He's going to check call.
And you got to imagine, Michael's going to shut down. There's no draw out there whatsoever.
Pot's now about $400. The turn's a 10.
Well,
and now when he picks up a draw, do you take the free card?
I mean, if I'm Michael, I check this. There's no draw out there whatsoever. What do you think the guy called you with?
He's going to bet 300 here.
Wow. Well, he puts the pressure on him.
$300 into a pot
300.
that's about $350, so it's $650 pot, $300 to call.
I mean, it puts pressure on Land, but I don't know if Land can get away from this. He's got top pair, second best kicker. I mean, he can't beat aces, he can't beat kings, he can't beat ace queen. But we saw Land plays it pretty passively.
We've seen people in this spot with king queen before, but he's going to make the call.
Yep.
And boy, if you're Michael, you got to know that you're probably beat. You're hoping for a 9 or
a 9 or a jack.
A jack.
Yeah, the jack is fine. You're not
approaching
really scared of a
$1,000 pot. Here we go to the river. River's an 8. That's not going to do it, and that even makes it worse, right? If the guy for some reason was a lunatic and was calling with
ace 8 or something. Yeah, you can't
right.
beat anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at the texture of a board. Sometimes when the board is, double suited or there's a straight draw out there, you don't know what your opponent has. But Land has called you. The flop is queen, 8, deuce, rainbow. There's no straight draw out there. There's no flush draw out there. And he's called a pretty significant raise pre-flop and then post-flop. So you got to go, okay, this guy's probably got ace, queen, or king, queen. I mean...
Well, Dave, this is going to be the last hand of the night.
Yeah, and if you take the interesting thing is Land is passive enough. Remember, he didn't bet his kings. If you take the free card on a turn, Land probably won't bet the river. And you get a free showdown anyway.
Well, because the 8 paired, you mean, at the end? Or
I just don't think Land bets his queen there. I mean, Land didn't bet kings, right? He probably checks it down anyway. I mean, I don't think Land throws a value bet in there where you're called to it. You're inducing a bluff and Land is bluffing.
Seat 2 is going to raise here to 70. Well, that's Juan. 9, 10 of hearts. And look at Michael, maybe fuming. He's going to re-raise to 225 with pocket 4s in seat 3. Wow.
And you gotta stay unemotional when you're playing poker. Keep your ego out of the game.
This is probably going to take it down, though, right here, I'd imagine.
I would imagine as well. Unless Juan picks up on the fact that this guy is
well, Juan's
steaming.
pretty deep here, and so is Michael. And let's see what Juan's going to do. He's
And
going to call.
Yeah. I think maybe he thinks that Michael is steaming.
Yeah.
And he thinks maybe I can win a big pot.
Well, the pot is 450. Juan's actually a favorite if you saw all 5 cards here, Dave.
Well,
oh, wow. Michael flops a set. And I'm glad to see that he's betting it here, Dave, because, if Juan thinks he's steaming, why not make a bet and maybe make Juan think that, you're just trying to steal it, but Juan's not going to get involved.
Well, you know what? You're expecting, your opponent is expecting you to bet, and
Right.
you've got to give him a chance to check raise you.
Yeah, I think that would be the absolute worst spot to check there with your set there. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Another night down in the annals of Live at the Bike.
Another one.
We're going to be back tomorrow doing our 10-20 no-limit hold'em game, so join us at 6 Pacific time, and you can watch a replay of this show all the way up to 4 Pacific tomorrow. So for everyone here in the booth and for Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.